bottom of the screen, up the sidelines.
Yo, it's your boy Orion, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, September 29th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens for Sunday Night Football. Can't wait to be able to see Josh Allen and Lamar Action Jackson go at it. We had a wild weekend of obviously college football and NFL, and I can't wait to be able to jump into this matchup. Right now, if you've ended up watching, the NFL within the first 4 weeks, and this is obviously week number 4, Josh Allen looks like the best quarterback in the league today. Now, I don't know if he'll end up being the best quarterback halfway through the season by week 8 or week 9 or 3/4 of the season by week 12, but I do know right now he is locked and loaded, and I love being able to see Josh Allen act like a point guard, not try to do too much, and it's really cool to be able to see him distribute the football. They got a great running back in James Cook. He'll be cooking here today, and I'm very excited to see what happens here on Sunday night. Let's get it, baby. And on the thumb on the left, we got Josh Allen, and on the right, Lamar Action Jackson, baby. Let's get it. Let's go. Amber in the building. What's good? And kickoff will be here in roughly 19 minutes, unless they end up starting it a little bit sooner, but usually around 5:20 kickoff. And I'm definitely excited to see where the matchup goes. All right, I need to go grab my drink here real quick. So let me grab that, and we'll be getting going here in just 1 second.
Side effects or affect how it or other medicines work, including hormonal birth control. It's critical to tell your doctor about all the medicines you take because certain tests which need a similar dosage may be needed. Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems, HIV-1, or plan to become pregnant or breastfeed. Don't take Paxlovid if you're allergic to Numitolvir, Ritonavir, or any of its ingredients. Serious side effects can include allergic reactions.
Just getting everything settled in with all the screens. Making sure I got all the stat pages up here as well. Game is going to be on NBC/Peacock. So if you have NBC through cable or satellite, you can watch that route. You can watch through Peacock, through the app, or you can obviously watch through streaming services as well. And again, as we're getting closer and closer, obviously, to Sunday night, we got a double header on Monday night. And I'm definitely excited to be able to do the Seahawks and the Lions tomorrow. So we'll be action-packed. I'll end up doing probably 3 reaction videos in the early afternoon, and then we'll make a thumb, and we'll end up doing the Seahawks and the Lions on Monday night. Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll end up doing some playoffs for the MLB. Thursday, we got the Falcons and the Bucs, an NFC South showdown on Thursday night. Very excited about that. And really happy that Tampa got back on track against the Philadelphia Eagles. We got absolutely embarrassed by the Denver Broncos last week. And not only did I get beat down in fantasy, losing to the Broncos made it even worse. So now, with the adjustments that were made, I feel that I have a chance now to be able to catch up with everybody in the league with some adjustments that I made and new players that I was able to pick up on the wire. Now I just have to have a big game, obviously, from Khalil Shakir, and hopefully Josh Allen will go to him hot and heavy. And if I can get everything to go my way, he might end up in the end zone once or twice, and hopefully I'll get up enough points to beat Shep, so that way I can end up getting to 2-2. And if I get to 2-2, I'm in business. Again, I have never really lost in week 2 or week 3, let alone back-to-back, to sit in 1-2 in the first 3 weeks. But injuries have been tough in fantasy football, and again, you just have to be able to pivot and find a way to be able to get other players that hopefully can step up and get you enough points at that time. Cool Kid in the building. What's good, Anna? Go Mariners. Way to, finish the season strong. And not only that, Cal Raleigh ended up breaking the record, for the most home runs in the first 4 seasons. So that is absolutely fantastic when you can think of everything, that has happened with the Mariners. Now, obviously, we would have loved to have been able to be in the playoffs, but 93rd career home run, most by a catcher in the first 4 seasons out of anyone that's ever played the game at catcher. That's a big deal. More than Mike Piazza, more than Johnny Bench. It's amazing, and again, hopefully we'll end up keeping him a Seattle Mariner for his whole career. And I'm glad that we ended up getting that dub and sweeping the A's. That one felt good. It would have been much nicer if we were in the playoffs, but again, it is what it is, but I'm glad that we finished strong, and I'm glad that Cal ended up getting the record. And he doesn't typically have any specific records that he goes for year in and year out, but I'm glad that he was able to accomplish that, and people can start giving him a little bit more respect on his name. Big facts. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We want to shoot for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go over some of the matchups here today. Stuart in the building. What's good? So we had Broncos 10, Jets 9, and that might have been one of the ugliest games that I've seen in a long, long time. The rain was coming down. Bo Nix played terrible, but when it came down to it, obviously it was enough for them to get the job done. Vikings 31, Packers 29. That one obviously was a barn burner right down to the end. Falcons 26, Saints 24. So it obviously shows you when you have injuries, it's tough to be able to maintain when you have your starting center and a few other individuals out. Saints started off very strong, but they're definitely hitting a wall now, and the Falcons are definitely taking advantage. Bucs 33, Eagles 16. No Devante Smith, no A.J. Brown, but we still got the job done. Go Bucs. Bengals 34, Panthers 24. Bengals get off the schneid and get their first win of the season. Texans 24, Jags 20, Colts 27, Steelers 24, but AR goes down with an injury. Not good for my fantasy team. Bears 24, Rams 18, Commanders 42, Cardinals 14. Jaden Daniels is the truth, and I'm glad that the Commanders finally actually have a quarterback, the best one that they've had since Alex Smith, Mark Rippon, and Joe Theismann. This guy more than likely will win Rookie of the Year, and he still has room to grow. And if you look at the quarterback class with Caleb, obviously we haven't got a chance to see a whole lot of Drake May or Michael Penix Jr. yet. J.J. McCarthy is injured. It looks like, if everything goes smoothly and there's no injuries, Jaden Daniels will probably be Offensive Rookie of the Year. Niners 30, Patriots 13, Raiders 20, Browns 16, and Chiefs 17, Chargers 10. But it looks like Rashee Rice has got a serious leg injury, which he might be out for a good chunk of the season. Prayers up for Rashee Rice. Hopefully he's okay. Then we got Bills, Ravens here. Josh Allen going against Lamar Jackson. Cowboys ended up playing on Thursday night against the Giants 20-15. And then tomorrow we got a doubleheader, one shitty game and a really good one. Titans, Dolphins, the battle of the bads. 0-3 Titans versus the 1-2 Dolphins with no Tua. And obviously we know Will Levis is not that good of a quarterback. But the good matchup, and I like that they're doing double headers on Monday night, because imagine if we had Titans, Dolphins, and that was it. That would be rough. But at least we got Seahawks, Lions, and I'll definitely be doing a live stream for that. Now, I didn't do an earlier game. I was busy, obviously, taking care of my pup, and then watching the Bucs, watching Red Zone. Then I ended up doing a couple reaction videos. So didn't do the Mariner game today. And I was thinking about doing the Bucs and the Eagles this morning on a live stream. But again, I had some errands to run, and I had to take care of my pup. And my pup comes first. So I got to be able to make sure that she gets her, a couple hours of walk every day and that love and attention. But I was able to pump out a Bucs Eagles reaction video, as well as a Vikings Packers reaction video for Sam Darnold and all the Vikings fans as well. So if you guys haven't got a chance to take a look at those particular reaction videos, please do. Like and subscribe and comment. Anything that you can do on a positive note will help. And then now we're here. And so Bills, Ravens, let's go. Ravens 1-2, desperate. Obviously 0-1 at home. Hybrid is in the building, rooting for the team to get onto a good winning streak. And the Buffalo Bills, probably the one team out of the whole league in the AFC that you don't want to finish or match up against, because Buffalo right now is one of the best teams in the NFL, if not the best. They look very, very good. And again, we'll see what we end up getting today. Josh Allen looks like the best quarterback in the NFL today. Now, will that be the case, 4 weeks from now when we're halfway through the season, or 12 weeks in, when we're 3/4 into the season? I'm not sure. They lost a lot of starters. They got rid of Gabe Davis and Stefon Diggs. And I feel right now with Khalil Shakir, and James Cook, it's the perfect combo. The offensive line is pass protecting on an elite level. James Cook is fucking cooking, and they finally got a running back as good as Thurman Thomas back in the 90s. Shakir hasn't dropped a pass going back to last year. He's the only wide receiver in the NFL that hasn't dropped a pass in 2024. And on top of that, it goes back to last year. Again, he's like 27 catches for 27 for 27, for example. I'm not sure if that's the exact number, but it's something like that. I'll have to go to my fantasy app, and they actually are going over that. But hopefully he ends up touching the ball quite often here today. I got him in fantasy, and I'm going against Kenneth Walker, and we're separated by like a point or two. So if I can get 15 to 30 points out of Khalil Shakir, and he can have his breakout game here against the Ravens, score twice, I'm good. If he scores once and ends up getting 80, 90, 100 yards, I might be able to win with that stat line as well. But definitely excited to be able to check out Lamar and Josh Allen, two of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL to watch on a week in, week out basis. What's good, brother? Yeah, fly, Eagles, fly. I had a lot of Eagle fans reach out to me. Prayer Man ended up sending me a dono a couple days ago for, just the support and just the coverage of the Eagles and whatnot in the NFL. But let's be honest, no Devante Smith, no A.J. Brown. And obviously if you had those individuals, would you guys would have, kept it a little bit closer? Of course. I don't think you guys would have been down, 21-0 at that point. But again, we were very hungry, very pissed. We still have a lot of injuries, but when you get your ass kicked by the Denver Broncos, when you're flying high and you're 2-0 and they come in there and then just beat the shit out of you, we were definitely looking for some vengeance, from the previous week against Denver. And it just so happens that Philadelphia was the team that we were playing. And we've owned Philadelphia, in the last 4 or 5 years. Previous to that, Philly had kind of our number. But again, you got to have a good O-line. You got to have a good defense. Defense wasn't good for Philly today. They weren't able to get Saquon Barkley the ball enough to be effective because you ended up getting down 21-0. Baker was baking, and hopefully Philly will be able to get better as the year goes on. But it shows you, no Jason Kelsey. That's huge. Obviously, you have Saquon and Goddard, but that's not the same as having A.J. Brown and Devante Smith, recovering from the concussion, and then A.J. with the injury. So hopefully those guys will be healthy so you guys can get back on track. But I think the biggest, kind of standout point, watching that matchup, obviously the offensive line and the defense for the Eagles, needs to be much, much better. And again, when you got A.J. Brown and Devante Smith, they might have contributed for a touchdown each or maybe more. But based on the flow of that game, even if they played, maybe the Bucs still win. They were looking very, very good today. So, but again, when you don't have your two top wide receivers, just like if we would have played you guys with no Evans or Godwin, we probably would have lost to y'all. So, it is what it is. And it feels good to be on top with that victory. But as you know, it's a long, long season. And, injuries are going to be creeping up on a lot of teams. And hopefully you guys will be able to turn it back around. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I did the game, obviously, late last night. And, they ended up winning. But I'm going to be very honest. Out of all the years of watching the Ducks, from the 80s until now, this is probably the most unenjoyable 4-0 team that I've ever watched. I feel like Dylan Gabriel is like a Tim Tebow 2.0 and not as good. Our running backs and wide receivers and tight ends are all RB2s, wide receiver 2s and 3s, and backups. We lost a lot of our great players in the NFL. The OC, Will Stein, is vanilla bland. All they run is screen passes, check downs, and runs up the gut. I don't know, man. Like, I've never really thought I would get to a point where I don't enjoy watching one of my favorite teams play week in and week out. But I don't really like the players that are on the team. I do like, obviously, the head coach and what we have there with Dan Lanning, but I'm not really big on Gabriel and Tez and a lot of the guys that we have. Like I said, I feel like a lot of these guys are backups. Now, Dylan Gabriel is a legit starter, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the OC and the offensive line without Jackson Powers Johnson. Defense not really being what I'm accustomed to, but I know that we're going to still finish in the top 3 in the Big Ten. We'll get blasted by Ohio State, and then we might end up losing, to a team that's inferior to us at some point in the season. But, it is what it is. I guess not every year you're going to be able to have, a team or players that you can really get behind. But again, we're not a natty worthy team. Giving us the preseason ranking of 3 was ridiculous. We should have been ranked in the top 25, but 15 to 20 would have been more realistic, not 3, because that got everyone's expectations up. But, hopefully the offense will open up a little bit, but I just don't like watching screen pass, check down, screen pass, halfback dive, punt, and then every once in a while you'll get a Gabriel, 30-yard pass for a tutty, but those are far and few between. So I appreciate that. Yeah, and no Lane Johnson as well. And we don't want to make excuses, with the injuries, but it's true, right, Michael? You know this, right? I mean, if I ended up missing Vita Vea or Tristan Wirfs or Graham Barton, and I didn't have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, you guys probably would have mollywopped us and beat us. So, but hopefully things will get better for your Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, and the Seahawks have owned the Lions in the last, 4 or 5 years. They've, kind of had them in check. But again, you got 2 defensive linemen out, your best 2 defensive linemen, and 2 linebackers. So I'm not really sure. Now, I know the secondary is going to be good, and that might cause problems for Jared Goff. But as far as running the football, is Seattle going to stop Gibbs and Montgomery? That's the real question. And will Sam Laporta have his breakout game since the linebackers are hurt? That's a kind of a mismatch. So Seattle is going to have to really have some extra things happen for them to be able to win this game. If everyone was healthy, on that defense, I think that they would be able to go in there and win, even though it would be a tough environment. But again, losing 4 starters on defense out of 11, that might be a little bit too much to overcome. But again, if Geno is effective, and you end up getting a decent package out of Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker III, JSN, Tyler Lockett, and DK can play well, and maybe the defense can get lucky, get some sack lunches or some fumbles or interceptions or pick sixes or special teams touchdowns. That might be what they need to win to kind of even up the score with all those starters out. They may need to have a big defensive play or a big special teams play, something to be able to get points defensively or on special teams to kind of even the score. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. But even if the Hawks lose, they've had a great start to the season, and it still looks like they're going to be in contention for the NFC West crown with the Niners. It's just a matter of staying healthy as much as you can. Captain Oreo in the building. Man, we start, you can start off strong, but again, it shows you, if you have injuries, if you end up putting the wrong people into your lineup, or you just end up matching up with someone that ends up having a monster day. I've never been 1-2 ever. I've never lost in week 2 or week 3, let alone back to back. But again, when you don't get any regular points out of your quarterback or your tight end, and you're missing your number 1 receiver and your number 1 running back, I don't know anybody in fantasy that could be missing out on quarterback, tight end, number 1 receiver, number 1 running back, 4 out of 9, and still be able to be 2-1 or 3-0. I've never heard a scenario like that. And I've done good on the wire. And I got Sam Darnold. So now with AR going down with the injury, I don't need Daniel Jones, and he didn't really do anything for me for a 1-week flyer anyways. Now I just got to hope that Sam Darnold will continue with his success, and that might be the Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield from 2 years ago. Geno was that special player that kind of came out of nowhere. Last year it was Baker. This year it's Sam Darnold. And I've had all 3 of those players in the last 3 years. So sometimes, when you don't have Josh Allen, and you don't have the option to draft a guy like that, which I really wanted, but he wasn't available for me. Sometimes you got to go for a guy like a Sam Darnold where he's hot, he's healthy. They don't have Hawkinson playing yet, but Jetta, Addison, Aaron Jones, the team is playing great. The offensive line is great. The defense is great. And the Vikings are 4-0. So you have to always make adjustments. And I got Shakir as well because I needed help to figure out someone to pair up with Mike Evans because I don't really trust Amari Cooper, week in and week out. So getting Sam Darnold, even though I wasn't able to use him this week, but for the rest of the season, getting Shakir in there, having my running backs hit today, I still might lose, but I have a chance if Shakir can have a big game. Chef has got Kenneth Walker going against the Lions run defense, which is number 1. So if I can get Kenneth Walker to run for maybe 8 fantasy points and I can put up, 10 to 20, preferably 15 to 30 with Shakir, I'm going to have a chance to be able to win this week and get to 2-2. But again, this is the most competitive it's been so far in 8 years on the channel. Sarah ended up getting her first win, so everyone is off the schneid. So obviously we don't have anybody that's going to be 0-4. Everyone is going to be 1-3, 2-2, and depending on what happens with Matt and obviously Megan, he'll be 3-1 if he wins, but if not, 2-2. And then we only have one undefeated team with Reflect 4-0, but he just had an injury to Rashee Rice, and now he's starting to feel the pain with the injuries like I did with Run CMC and with Cooper Kupp. Now he's got Mixon and he's got Njoku, but those are short-term injuries. But now Rashee Rice might end up being out for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, the rest of the year. They're going to do an MRI and hopefully that he's okay. But when you have CeeDee Lamb, right, and fantasy, and you have Nico Collins and Rashee Rice, just like Reflect does, that's 3 of the top 6 receivers. So even if your tight end shits the bed or your defense or kicker, you might be able to get 80 to 90 points out of those 3 receivers. So it's always good to try to stack 3 good running backs or 3 good wide receivers. And even if you have other holes, that those receivers or running backs can make up, for the other guys, maybe being shitty that particular week. I don't really know what's going to happen here. The Bills are the better team, but we'll have to see if Josh Allen can execute on the road. But I wouldn't be shocked if Buffalo wins here today. Again, I feel like Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL today. Patrick Mahomes, obviously has all the records. Patrick Mahomes normally is, known as the best quarterback on the planet. But if we're actually just judging based on the first 4 weeks, Josh Allen is playing better than Mahomes. Mahomes might have the trophies, but we're not talking about that. We're just talking about who's playing the best football. And you could say Josh Allen and Sam Darnold, those are the 2 best quarterbacks so far in 2024. Who would have thought, right? So, we'll see what happens. Now, obviously here this evening, but I hope it ends up being a close game. So thank you so much, man. That really means a lot. I've been grinding on this dream for 12 years. This is my 8th year on YouTube, my 3rd year full time. We're over 4.1 million views, over 2,300 videos and live streams since 2017. We're only 20 subs away from 20,600. And we got an amazing group of people that support on this channel, which really means a lot to me, very much. Yeah, a lot of arm tackles for the Tampa Bay Bucs and the Philadelphia Eagles. I would agree with that too. I would agree. Big upset, even though they are at home. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you got let go, bro. Cole in the building. What's good? Congratulations on your Bengals. Finally getting that win. But Buffalo always needed just a good offensive line, a great running back, but they kept going for RB2, RB3s, when they had Diggs and Allen together, and it just didn't work. They got close, against Kelsey and Mahomes, right, where they got it down to 14 seconds, and then the miracle happened, right? And maybe the Bills would have won the world, the Super Bowl that particular year if they made it. But I feel like this team is better. They lost 5 starters on D, no Diggs, no Gabe Davis, no fucking problem. It's addition by subtraction. You don't get anybody whining at you all the time with Gabe and Stefon Diggs. You got receivers that might not be big names yet, but I do love Khalil Shakir. James Cook is a top 10 running back. Allen's the best quarterback in the league right now besides Sam Darnold. And the defense, even though they lost a lot of pieces, they look pretty fucking good this year, which is kind of mind-boggling. Screen pass. Dalton Kincaid. Short gain. I'm sorry that you got let go, bro. That's tough, man. But again, if you feel like your mental health is going to be up and down, hang out with me more on a regular basis. Football streams, baseball streams. We can still talk, Eagles or Phillies or whatever you want. Little screen pass. Oh, nice tackle there by the Ravens. Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. What an amazing break off that snap and just full-fledged, just laid into him. Oh, yeah, Diggs is definitely a diva, and he's going to have success, with, CJ Stroud and, Tank Dell and Nico Collins, but he's not even the number one over there. Nico is, and it's just a matter of time in a couple years before the honeymoon phase ends and he starts yelling at CJ Stroud. It's inevitable. He did it in Minnesota. He did it in Buffalo. Go, baby, go. There we go. First down, Bills. There we go. Move the chains. But it's like, it's one thing to get rid of Diggs and Gabe Davis and you go more run heavy. The offensive line is better. Cook is amazing. And then you got guys like Khalil Shakir that have emerged, right? And you still got Dalton Kincaid, so you still got like a tight end to go to. But the defense, to end up losing guys like Jordan Poyer and a few others, and then for them still to be like pretty good, for losing 4 or 5 starters on D, normally that's a recipe for disaster. And then you end up being really shitty on that side of the ball. But I feel like, I'm not sure if it's just Von Miller, being healthy and old and trying to motivate the squad, with the individuals that they have now. But it's kind of impressive if we're really being honest. I don't think I've ever seen a team lose like half their starters and play better than the previous year. But that's where we're sitting at right now. And I got Khalil Shakir in fantasy, so I need some big points, baby. 4th and inches by Josh Allen here. And he can tush push it as well. Audible at the line. Josh Allen, you ain't stopping that, baby. More dangerous than Cam Newton. First down, Bills. And hopefully Shakir can get me, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 catches. Hopefully 80, 90, 100 yards. And hopefully a touchdown or 2 because I'm going to need it. But I like this Buffalo team. Like I said, getting a wide receiver that is so reliable like Shakir. He's the only wide receiver in the NFL that doesn't have a drop. He literally has been perfect so far in 2024. And if you go back to last year in the last, playoff or regular season game, he ended up doing that as well. So I don't know the exact number. Someone will have to look it up. But I did see it on my fantasy app. James Cook, there we go. First down, Bills. But I think it's somewhere in the 20 to 28 range that, he's been literally perfect up to that point. So he went 3 for 3 week 1, 5 for 5 week 2, 6 for 6 week 3. And we need that volume to go up a little bit for him to get the Diggs type of numbers, right? And he's 1 for 1 today. And obviously he went going back to last year. So I love being able to see a player, have 15, 20, 25 catches in a row without a drop. It's unheard of. Allen, hands off. Good defense there by the Ravens. And you think this Raven D is pretty stout. So even though James Cook is an amazing running back, he might not, break out with over 100 yards today. The Ravens have the players and the personnel to hold him under 100, but he could still get into the end zone once or twice. So Josh Allen will be forced to throw a little bit more than maybe regular. But hopefully Shakir will get those looks, as well as Dalton Kincaid. Allen in the building. What's good? Yeah, fucking Broncos loss was fucking heartbreaking. Shotgun set, 3rd down and 2. Allen, pump fake. And Dalton Kincaid with a drop. Now, if that was Shakir, it wouldn't have been. 4th down and 2. Do you go for it? And normally, when you got an offense like this, you don't want to be, kind of just ignoring, all of the analytics and statistics. At some point, you're going to want to punt, even though you feel that you can get a yard or 2 with Josh Allen. But based off field position, this is the smart move. You don't need to get greedy. It's the first quarter. We know Buffalo's offense can flow, and Ravens defense is pretty stout. So it's going to be a battle between this offensive line that's played very good this year against the Ravens D and Buffalo with the punt. Good decision there, even though I know you could have gotten it with Cook or Allen, more than likely. 2 yards, you do a tush push, you can get that first down, but I'm glad that they punted. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do.
It's a reflection of the adventurous spirit, hailing from the heart of the United Kingdom, where legends are born and traditions rise, comes a true off-road champion for the demanding terrain of the Pacific Northwest. Nicholas Grenadier, born in the UK, made for the Northwest, proudly offered a non-tonkin Gran Turismo. The savings continue with Bymart's latest savings book.
All right, so it looks like I was right. 27 consecutive targets by Josh Allen. That's incredible.
$3 off, plus save on 8 packs of Gatorade, now to $6.99. Celebrating 20 years of employee ownership. Save more now with our latest savings book at $5.
All right, we hit double digits. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour. We're at 12 now. 8 more to go to get to 20, and then once we get there, we'll be able to hit the algorithm, and we'll be able to get hopefully to 30 to 35 or 40 before the stream ends. Let's go, baby. And we're only 20 subs away from 20,600. And I did Eagles, Bucs, Vikings, Packers reaction videos. And then again, I'll do 2 or 3, obviously, on Monday morning/afternoon. And then we'll be doing Seahawks and the Lions on Monday night. Very excited about that. And then baseball playoffs on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we'll do the Falcons versus the Buccaneers, which should be an amazing matchup. Could go either way. Can't wait to see what happens on that matchup on Thursday on a short week. All right, let's see what Lamar has entail for us here. Let's go. But with the Stefon Diggs, I want to say, before Josh Allen had a true number 1 receiver, he wasn't really that good. He was very raw. He was throwing a lot of picks. You could see the potential on the ceiling, but he didn't really have that number 1 guy to go to. Then when Diggs came, he got much better, and they both turned into, Pro Bowl, All-Pro studs and superstars, right? But then in the last 2 years, you definitely could feel like the honeymoon phase was over, and they were ready for a divorce. And I don't think Josh Allen was having all the bitching and moaning. It should be a team game, not, I need to get my 10 targets a game type of thing. And I think they're better off without Diggs. Normally, King Henry rumbling and a bumbling. Is he going to go all the way? Touchdown, Ravens. Wow. Derrick Henry, fantasy owners, Megan, rejoice. And that's exactly what she needed. Wow. That was crazy. And that's what happens when you end up losing 4 or 5 starters on defense. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Derrick Henry with 14.7 points on the first play on offense. 87 yards for a tutty. My God. Derrick Henry pacing for 50 points tonight. Wow. What an electric play. Yeah, offensive line and injuries. I think, penalties, you can put that as third, but injuries, obviously 4 starters on defense, 2 linebackers, and your 2 best D linemen, with Leonard Williams obviously out, and obviously the rookie Byron from Texas. When you have both of those guys out, as well as your 2 linebackers, that's going to hurt you more than any kind of penalty will, obviously, on Monday night. But I would say those 3 things are justified. Yeah, and again, I would have done some of the first couple weeks, but again, when I have a 10 a.m. start, and then I had a late stream last night with the Ducks that didn't get over until 1 in the morning, whatnot. So it's like, when you end up having a late stream that goes until midnight or close to midnight, and then I got to take care of my pup. I don't want to ignore her, throughout the day. I got to make sure I give her the walks, and I make sure I pay attention to her. So we will definitely be doing a few Bucs live streams, but just not as many as I kind of hoped for going into the year, just because, Paisley, she's going to come first. She's my pup. I'm the dog father. And again, it's like there's going to be other matchups that are going to be on later at like 1 o'clock or, 5 o'clock or Thursday night football. Like obviously this upcoming Thursday, which is perfect. There's no other games. I don't got to worry. I can take care of all my duties with Paisley then. So, obviously, I wouldn't have wanted to stream the Bronco Buccaneer game last week. That would have been really painful. You would have saw a lot of emotions come out there, but obviously the first 2 weeks definitely were nice for the Tampa Bay Bucs. So we'll see where it goes. But I think it'll be good for other fans to see like what the Bucs are all about. So Elliot in the building. What's good, brother? Fantasy's been pretty crazy, man. And again, Megan looks like she's going to beat Matt. Sarah got her first win over Zini. You're right there. You need Lamar to have a monster game. If Lamar can have like a 30-point game, you can beat Reflect. But you're going to have a monster game. And then Chief getting a win off me, being the worst team in the league, but now is going back-to-back and beating me and Captain Oreo in back-to-back weeks. And if you look at his players, it's not like he's got like the most incredible players, but they're hitting. Swift, London, Mooney, Goddard, Johnson. Like he literally has probably the worst players on any team that's hitting, and again, sometimes you have shitty players or players that are average that hit. And if you have a bunch of those guys together, I mean, hell, even if his bench was hitting, Addison on the bench, Chase Brown on the bench. So any combination of his players, unfortunately, looked like they were going to beat you, Captain Oreo. But now you're welcoming yourself into my world on, what it's like to, have the pain of fucking losing in fantasy. It stinks, man. The only thing that makes it better is if your football team wins. Allen, Dalton Kincaid, first down, Bills. For me, it's primarily hip hop, but I listen to a little bit of everything. I listen to old school 60s music. I like Metallica. I like Guns N' Roses, Green Day, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I like Tech Nine. I like E40. I'll listen to Tupac and Biggie. Travis Scott. Drake. I mean, it really Kendrick. I got a wide variety. Everything really besides country. Not that country's terrible. I know some people love it, but obviously, I love Ozzy Osbourne. Listen to Brooks and Dunn in Alabama. As a kid with my dad, but my dad wasn't really into country either. It was more just like camping music. My dad's more of a deadhead with like Jerry Garcia and whatnot, but a little bit of everything. Well, it's also with all those Saints players that you have and, using some, not using some. And again, it's always risky when you end up drafting, a quarterback in the first round. Normally when you do that, it's, a recipe for disaster. And luckily up to this point, you've done pretty well, but obviously Ramondre Stevenson and Zach Ertz not giving you enough. You're getting double digits everywhere else, but you don't really have a whole lot on the bench. Now, if you would have played Rashid Shaheed or scary Terry McLaurin, maybe you end up getting the dub, but again, sometimes it's hard to be able to choose the right combination of players, based on what you think might happen, It's like right now I got Sam Laporta and I had Cole Kmet. I don't really trust either one. And Cole Kmet didn't really do a whole lot for me. But again, I've only been getting 3 to 5 points, every week out of the tight end position for the first 3 weeks, which is terrible. There's a reason why I'm not doing well, right? And then he put up a 6.4, but just my luck, Sam Laporta, might end up having a monster game tomorrow. But Jared Goff has regressed, and he hasn't been as good as he was last year. And that's why the Lions aren't really hitting with Amon-Ra and with Laporta as much as they did last year, because Goff was a good quarterback last year. He was top 10. This year, he's probably top 20. And if things don't improve, they might make the playoffs, but they're not going to go to the NFC Championship game like they did last year. Yeah, that was great. That was great to see Logan Gilbert and Cal breaking the record for most home runs out of a catcher in the first 40 years. That was sweet. Go Mariners. Yeah, but remember, Captain Oreo, I told you it was a risk to take Mahomes and Kelsey. And again, when you end up having duos, or if you have Breece Hall and you have, Garrett Wilson, it's all good when they win. But if they end up losing or having a bad game, then you're fucked because you're having, half of your lineup on, 4 players, 2 on each team. So it's like, it works great when the Chiefs are scoring a shitload of points and Kelsey's getting the look, and Mahomes is wheeling and dealing. But Mahomes really hasn't been a very good fantasy quarterback the last couple years. And, Breece and Garrett Wilson had not the greatest games, obviously playing in the rain against the Broncos. And you're probably not going to have too many shitty games like that with superstars, but it does happen from time to time. 3rd down and 6. Allen. Kincaid, first down. Bills, move the chains. Yeah, but again, it's going to be, very, very close. And again, we're going to have one undefeated team more than likely. But with reflex injuries, with Rashee Rice, maybe out for the year or half of the year. Mixon and Njoku will be back. But, again, he's the undefeated team now, which is normally the position that I'm in, usually like 3-1 or 4-0. But I feel there's a lot of teams that are going to be right there that are 2-2, and then the other teams that will be 1-3, but we'll have no teams 0-4. So that shows you how good the league is. Everyone is jumbled in there together, and any combination of 4 teams can make the playoffs. Flag on the play. And that flag is on Buffalo. Let them know. Let's get to 100 in donos, baby. So Rashee Rice, possible torn ACL. So if that's the case, maybe that's too much for them to, come back from. But it sounds like Devante Adams might be on the block. And don't be surprised if the Chiefs go all in. And if Rashee Rice is labeled with the ACL after the MRI, don't be surprised because against the cap, Raiders would have to pay Devante Adams like $35 million next year. So I think they're going to try to dump that salary. And, it would make sense for Devante Adams to go to the Chiefs, even though I know a lot of people that aren't Chiefs fans that wouldn't want that, especially if you're a Raider fan or if you're a fan of another team in the AFC. But that is a possibility, if Devante Adams gets, obviously the Chiefs would have to, want him. And, if Rice is out, they're going to be needing someone. Hollywood Brown, obviously they picked him up in the offseason, but he's hurt. So Xavier Worthy can have a bigger role, but Pacheco is already out for that team also. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with the Chiefs, but they may not make it to the Super Bowl this year. They might be able to make it to the AFC Championship game, but it might be another team, maybe one of these teams that we're seeing on the screen that ends up making a run. Allen, Khalil Shakir, my boy. There we go. Yeah, I'll try to do some Padre games for you, Elliot, because, again, the Mariners are eliminated. So we'll be doing playoff baseball on Tuesday and Wednesday, and probably on, we got Seahawks and Lions tomorrow, playoff baseball on Tuesday, playoff baseball on Wednesday. I haven't decided who I'm doing yet. Falcons and Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football, the Ducks and Michigan State on Friday, and then we'll see what goes on, obviously, Saturday and Sunday. Don't be injured, Khalil Shakir. Fucking A, man. I need you to play well. Yes. I remember I told you at the beginning of the year. What did I say? I said that the Padres, I felt like they and the Houston Astros were the two most dangerous teams as wild cards. You just don't really know what's going to happen. But, the Astros and Padres, both of them could make it to the World Series and play each other, or maybe just one out of the two. But all I know is if I'm the Yankees and I'm the Orioles and I'm the Guardians, right, I don't want anything to do with the Houston Astros. And if I'm the Dodgers and Phillies, I want nothing to do with the Padres because I really respect, how good those two teams are, as kind of underdogs that people are just assuming that, they're good, but they don't really know how good they really are. And if you've watched the Astros and the Padres play this year, you would understand that they legitimately have a chance to knock off the top seeds and go a little bit further than people think. I'll be rooting for you, Elliot. Yeah. You like I said, but you have to look at the rankings every week, right? And if you're looking at the rankings and you're just doing it based off perception, right, and not looking at the rankings, Cowboy defense, had a little bit of a run in the last couple years where they started off hot and then they faded. But again, sometimes you got to go for a defense, even in a red matchup, if the defense is good. And, that's why every position is so crucial in fantasy. You just can't have too many spots shit the bed. And then if the defense that you picked or drafted is doing shitty, you got to move on. Sometimes it's hard to move on from a piece that you drafted because you feel an attachment, like from a guy that you picked up in free agency, you picked up on the wire, or you drafted a player. You don't want to get rid of something that you feel that has value. But at the end of the day, if the Cowboy defense is ranked, in the top 20, not the top 5 or top 10, you got to move on. And then you got to start streaming defenses week in and week out. Just try to find a weak opponent and try to get to 10 points. Otherwise, if you stay with the Cowboy defense week in and week out, you're going to get fucking obliterated. So, and I think you understand that now, And again, it's not just, personnel. You have to be able to pay attention. Is it home? Is it away? Is it home? Is it turf? Is it grass? How many points have they given up in the last few weeks? How good is the quarterback on the other side? There's a lot of factors involved for sure. Judah in the building. What's good? Now, Neighbors is a stud. Obviously, him and Jaden Daniels are going to be battling it out for Offensive Rookie of the Year for sure. 3rd down and 7. What's good, Judah? But I got the closest matchup here with Shep. He's projected for 129. I'm projected for 128. I'm ahead 118 to 116, but he's got Kenneth Walker III against Detroit's tough defense. So instead of scoring 10 to 20, he might put up 5 to 9. That's what I'm hoping for. And then I got to get Shakir up to like 15 tonight, 15 to 18. And if I can get that, then I might have a chance to win here, get to 2-2, and then I'm in business. Picking up Shakir and Sam Darnold on the wire might have saved my fucking season. Like, no lie. I got Amari Cooper as well. But again, when you have injuries to your quarterbacks, right? And I can't trust AR, and he just got hurt again today. I can't trust my tight ends, but at least I got Laporta and Cole Kmet. So I got 2 options now in the top 10. But getting Amari Cooper to pair up with Mike Evans while I wait for Cooper Kupp and Run CMC to come back. If I can have Sam Darnold, right? Run CMC, James Conner, Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans with Shakir, Sam Laporta, or Cole Kmet, with the, Aubrey, Dallas's kicker, and then with all the defenses that'll end up streaming week in and week out, I'm going to have a chance, to get to the playoffs, but I got to be able to win here this week. Allen going deep and complete. Anthony Richardson, Colts quarterback. I got like 26 points out of him week 1, and in the last 3 weeks with 3 different quarterbacks, I've gotten like 8 or 9 points. I don't know anyone that can win in fantasy with their quarterback only getting 8 or 9 3 weeks in a row. So, and I had to take a flyer and go for Daniel Jones because he was projected in a green matchup against Dallas for 18, and obviously he shit the bed and only gave me 9, of course. So obviously I'm cutting him, but I did get Sam Darnold after the Daniel Jones game, thank God. And, he kind of reminds me of Geno Smith from 2 years ago, which I had, and Baker Mayfield last year. Sometimes it's a quarterback that no one thinks is going to do anything, and they kind of come out of nowhere and play like a top 5, top 10 quarterback. And if Sam Darnold can stay healthy and keep it going, I'm going to have a chance to compete with the big boys that are in the league. I just need to get this dub and get it going. Yeah. Oh, that's another AR as well with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. But Richardson has been a bum. He can't throw. He gets hurt all the time. Again, he ends up making like a 62-yard slipping, bomb to Alec Pierce week 1, right, where maybe only a couple quarterbacks could make. But on a regular 5-yard slant, 5-yard out, he can't even make a regular pass and complete it. So it's just frustrating. I definitely fucked up, picking him in the fantasy in the draft. Not that like Joe Burrow would have been any much better, but again, I didn't get a chance to get Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen or CJ Stroud or Lamar because all those quarterbacks were off the board. So I had to take the 5th, and I was hoping that AR would play well, but he has been shitty, and he got hurt today. Kick is up, and it's good. 7-3 Baltimore. And he got hurt. They put him back in. and then he got hurt again. Steichen is an idiot. And again, I can't trust him. I don't know if I can cut him, just yet, but it definitely stinks, when you don't have any comfort, at quarterback, for the first month. But now at least I got Sam Darnold. So, and at some point, I know Darnold might hit the wall, but between Josh Allen and Sam Darnold, those are the two best quarterbacks right now. Well, I don't know if it's a cool nickname. It's just AR. It's his initials. I'm not sure how cool that is. But when he's on, when he runs and he throws properly, he can put up 20 to 30 points like a Cam Newton, but he just, he's just too young, too inexperienced. You can't fucking throw. And the Colts found a way to win the game because Jonathan Taylor defense really didn't play that well either. But, Colt defense has got 3 easy matchups in the next, I think it's Jags, Titans, Dolphins. So but Joe Flacco, obviously stepped in, and I think Joe is a better quarterback than AR. I think the Cleveland Browns should have never let Joe Flacco go. And I definitely think guys like Michael Pittman Jr. and a few others are going to get more looks from Flacco than they would from AR. So, hopefully AR ends up being good, but if I got to dump him at some point, I might have to, It'd just be kind of crazy to think if I had Sam Darnold and Joe Flacco as my fantasy quarterbacks. But, I mean, whoever's playing well, you got to pick them up, right? Yeah, well, for the Brewers and the Tigers, there's 0% chance for either one, but you can definitely root for either one to do well. But they both have a 0% chance, let me tell you. It's cool that they made it, but they're going to find out real quick when they play the big boys in the playoffs what's going to happen. Now, is it possible that they win a series before they lose? Yeah, it's definitely possible with Scooball or with the Brew Crew, but I feel there's quite a few teams that are better than them at this point. $151 to 151.3. Man, that's brutal. I lost to Shep in the playoffs by 0.5. All he needed is the receiver to get Michael Pittman Jr., to get a catch within the last 30 seconds of the game. And of course he did. It was a short 5-yard, catch, and I lost. So, anything is possible in fantasy. Nice to see Cal Raleigh and the Mariners do some big things, end up the year with 3 straight wins against the A's, and Cal Raleigh ends up breaking the record for most home runs out of any catcher first 4 years. Didn't even get a nomination for an all-star bid in the last couple years, never been an all-star. He's the best catcher in baseball. So at some point, all the popularity that Adley Rutschman is getting and all these other catchers are getting, people need to wake up and realize that Cal Raleigh, even though we aren't a playoff team, he's the best catcher in baseball, and hopefully we'll see him in all-star games as a starter or a backup to Adley Rutschman sooner than later. Nice job, Mariners, finishing out the season. Lamar, screen pass. Zay Flowers, look at that speed. That's what I need Khalil Shakir to do. First down, Ravens. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes, Patrick the Clone Mahomes, I mean, there's not a lot of quarterbacks. Lamar Action Jackson. Some are going to be just kind of made up, and others are going to be, nicknames that are used. But yeah, you're not going to have too many like TB12 and, a few others. But Shep, what's good, man? I got to win, man. And what's up with your fucking Niner defense putting up all that bullshit, dude? Come on. You're already 2-1. I deserve this win. I'm 1-2. You haven't had to go through all the injuries like me with no quarterback play, no tight end, no Cooper Kupp, no CMC. And I finally got my guys to hit this week, but I need Shakir to do well. And Kenneth Walker ain't going to play good tomorrow. They're going against the number 1 defense for the run against the Lions. So he'll probably end up getting a 7 or 8 tomorrow. So if that's the case and he only gets 8 and I can end up getting a 15 here with Shakir, I'm going to hopefully be able to beat you this week. And, now with Shakir, Amari Cooper, and Sam Darnold, I feel more comfortable now that I'll be able to make the playoffs, because before getting those players, I was really nervous, if I was going to be able to improve my roster enough to be able to compete with the rest of the league. And it wasn't looking too good. But if everyone else is sleeping, on Shakir and Darnold, and I can scoop them up, that might have made all the difference for my season, grabbing those two players. So I really appreciate other people sleeping and me being able to, get the players that I need to be able to get it done. Yeah, they played well, bro. Lamar, little check down. And obviously, if Reflect ends up going 4-0, right, Rashee Rice might be out for the year. So there goes his top 3 receivers in the top 6 with Rashee Rice, CeeDee Lamb, on top of Nico Collins. So when you end up losing that, that's going to be a big hit. Obviously, he's got injuries to Mixon and Njoku. So now he's starting to feel what it's like to be me. But I feel like with Cooper Kupp and CMC, those guys could be top 3 at their position. No one else is missing out on a top 3 player. I mean, Rashee Rice could be a top 3 player. So that's kind of like a Cooper Kupp example, but no one's really missing on, a CMC Cooper Kupp type of impact. Everyone else has been unscathed. But hopefully I'll be able to find a way to climb back into the standings. And if I can finish in 4th and just get in, that's what I'm shooting for. Yeah, Robinson's been good. Well, you better hurry the fuck up then. You better start wheeling and dealing, But Sarah got her first win, so she's not going 0-6, 0-7 like last year. So, it shows you how competitive the league is. We're going to have a bunch of 2-2 teams, and even the teams that are 1-3 aren't that far behind. They just need to get back on track. Oh, wow. Elbow to the chin. Or knee to the chin. But, Daniel Jones is garbage, and I was really hoping him, would step up a bit. But Mason, Moss, Evans, Cole Kmet didn't do as much as I wanted, but I can't trust him or Laporta. Indy defense kind of let me down because they were at 11 for the whole game and then dropped down to 5. I could have really used, 10 points out of my defense since Shep's defense hit a 23. Bullshit. But, it is what it is. But I just need Shakir to get in the fucking end zone today. I need him to be able to, get to 15, to 18 points. And if that happens and Walker gets like an 8 or a 9, I might be able to sneak one by you. And then we'll figure out what happens later in the year. But I need this dub. You're 2-1, bro. You don't need it. I'm 1-2. I need it. I'm more desperate right now. Screen pass. First down, Ravens. Well, the reason that they went with Pittman is because Flacco is the quarterback. AR can't fucking quarterback anybody, right? But Flacco can get the ball to everyone. So obviously the value for Pittman and some of the other receivers, Alec Pierce and Downs, the value will be much higher now with Flacco in the lineup because AR stinks. All he does is get injured and he can't fucking throw the football. I wish I never would have drafted him. He gave me 26 points week 1 and he's been garbage ever since, and now he's hurt again. Yeah, well, he's got Kyron Williams, Joe Mixon, who's hurt, and David Montgomery, so that definitely helps there too. And he's got Kyler and Jalen Hurts, so it's like he's got more top 10 players than anyone else in the league, and that's usually what I am. I usually have the most top 10 players on the roster. So, I wasn't anticipating some of my studs, shitting the bed so much, but that's what happens. Now if I didn't have Cooper Kupp and CMC get hurt, then I might be in the position where, Reflect is right now, but having Rashee Rice, if that ACL is torn, that's definitely going to hurt his chances, to be the top dog for the whole year. Obviously having that roster is great, but, every injury that ends up happening, that ends up being season ending, that'll allow some of the other teams, including myself, Shep, and some of y'all, and Elliott, and a few others to catch up, Because again, everyone's going to be 1-3, 2-2. If Matt wins, he'll only be the other team that's 3-1, but right now it looks like we got Chief was the worst team in the league, and he's about to go back-to-back wins. So it shows you things can change. Me and Shep are neck and neck. Megan is projected to beat Matt. Sarah got her first win over Zini. And obviously you need Lamar to have like a 40, 50-point game to win. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get that, Elliot. But Matt would drop down to 2-2, and Megan would improve to 2-2. So it like literally Reflect would be 4-0, and then we would have like a bajillion teams that are 2-2, and then we would have a couple teams at the bottom that are 1-3. But even if that's you, Captain Oreo and Sarah, with everyone being so close to each other, you just need to get on a little bit of a win streak. Obviously, being 1-3 is not ideal. Hell, I might be there with you. But again, you just got to make sure you're updating your roster, and making the best decisions to your ability, and a little bit of luck obviously always helps too. So since you said that, you're definitely not winning now. Now you're dropping down to 2-2. Not happening. Not happening. But I've never seen it this competitive. But I've also not seen it where we have such shitty quarterback and tight end play, and I haven't seen this many season-ending injuries or big injuries within the first month ever either. So I really feel like the championship is going to be up for grabs. Obviously if Reflect can keep his team relatively healthy, he'll be the front runner to win. But who are going to be the other three teams that are going to meet him there in the playoffs? That has yet to be seen. And we're going to have 14 weeks, and then we're just doing 1 week, 1 week. So week 15, that's the first round in the playoffs. Week 16 is the championship, even though we go 18 weeks. So that way we don't have to go best of 2 weeks like we normally did. But then once you get to week 17, 18, sometimes you don't even have starters playing anymore. And then you have to go for backups. Like last year I had to choose between Baker and like Nick Mullins. So Lamar, touchdown, Ravens. Derrick Henry, he is that man. You already beat me by 0.5 before. I need to be able to get going. I have never been 1-2. I haven't finished any worse than third in any league I've ever been in. I need to be able to get back on track. Okay. And even if that means that, I have to be the fourth team when normally I'm first or second or third, so be it. But I need to get going. There we go. Nice job, Elliot. Extra point is up, and it's good. 14-3 Ravens. I need Khalil Shakir. Bang, 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 bang. I need it. Cordell. He was ahead of his time, Cordell Stewart. And that's the problem when you got guys like Taysom Hill. You can't really roster him in fantasy, because, again, he'll have one good game, but then he'll have like 4 bad ones. And then he'll have 2 good games in a row and then 4 bad ones. You have to really be lucky to have him on your team and then to use him and then hope that he hits, because it's either going to be like 1 to 4 points or it's going to be 15 to 25. And there's no in between. It's not like you're going to consistently get 10 to 15 out of Taysom Hill. I mean, I used to have him as well in the last couple of years. I would experiment with him and try to gauge on what the week would be that he would have his big week. But it's so hard to predict, on what week is going to be the big week for the Swiss Army knife and Taysom Hill. So, and fantasy always does that, right? As soon as you have a guy that's shitty, and you're like, fuck this guy, off my team. And then all of a sudden he's on someone else's team or he's on the wire and then ends up getting like 20 fucking points. Go figure. Fantasy can be fucking cruel, man. And that's just how it goes. Yeah. I mean, shit, I've gotten 3 to 5 points. I've gotten 3 to 6 points from my tight end all year. Sam Laporta for 3 weeks with 3 to 5, and I got like 6.4 with Komet. But maybe Sam, Laporta will get, to 10 this week. But again, Jared Goff stinks this year. He is not wheeling and dealing to Amon-Ra and Laporta like he did last year. And if I knew Goff was going to be bad this year, I would have never picked Laporta. But it is what it is. Allen. Curtis Samuel with a good game. Air McNair, that's a good one. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're going to be shooting for 100 in the donos on every stream. I don't think we have anything yet, but hopefully we will before the stream ends. And we're at 16. We need 4 more likes. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. 3 more to get to 20. Want to try to get to 30 before the stream ends. Hand off to Cook. And I did 2 reaction videos after watching the Bucs and Eagles. I did a reaction video to that, as well as Vikings Packers. And I'll try to do 3 more tomorrow. Yeah, Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. There you go. I don't mind. You can keep doing nicknames in the chat. It keeps the chat interesting. It's not like you're spamming up the chat. You know, we appreciate you. I want your mental health to be good. Oh, great. Now Khalil Shakir is probable. Fuck! Of course the motherfucker gets injured in a game. I have to fucking beat Shep. Damn it! Give him some goddamn steroids and get his ass out there. That was the only chance I had. Motherfuck. Oh, you went to the Falcons game today? Nice. Big win against the fucking Saints. Come on, Khalil Shakir. Put some fucking dirt on it. I'm not going to be able to win now. He's only at 2.8. I need him to get back out there. Because even if Walker gets like 8 points, right, and then you're at 124, I'm at 118. I need more points. Come on. Man, I got all the goddamn injuries this year. I hate it, man. You know, and like I said, last week was one of the worst weeks for me. You know, having to get my ass kicked in fantasy and scoring like 80 points, you know, overall, which is stupid. And then having the Broncos beat the Bucs, that was probably one of the worst weeks I've had. Because at least if you lose with your favorite football team, you can get a win with fantasy and you feel a little bit better. You know, but when you lose in both, there's nothing worse when you're a competitive person. When you lose in fantasy and your favorite football team loses, your life is hell. At least I know it is for me. You know, it took a couple days for me to get better, but son of a bitch, man. You and your goddamn fucking bullshit 23 Niner defense. Bullshit. Fuck out of here with that. And it's not like I had anybody on the bench that I could have used instead of maybe Laporta for Komet, but I don't trust Jared Goff right now yet. So, but at least I got Sam Darnold for the rest of the season. So that'll give me a chance to catch up with everyone else, you know.
$70 on a Philips QLED Smart TV, now just $249.99. Save $4 on a bag of Blue Diamond almonds. Mountain House freeze-dried meal pouches are up to.
All right, Shakir doesn't have an injury designation though, so maybe he'll be back out there. Put some fucking dirt on it, Shakir. Fantasy's on the line against Shep. That's all that fucking matters. Nothing else life matters except for me getting fucking points with Shakir to beat Shep. That's the only fucking thing that matters. Touchdown, Shakir. Touchdown, Josh Allen. That's what matters. Let's go. Yeah, everyone needs a new tight end. Like, you know, unless you got like George Kittle, right? Brock Bowers was good early on with Trey McBride, but then McBride got hurt. You know, but it's starting to look like maybe George Kittle is the best tight end in the NFL right now as far as consistency is concerned. So. Yeah, I mean, I got Laporta and Komet, so I mean, at some point, you know, you would think that those guys, somebody's got to fucking hit, but. All right, we're only a couple likes away from 20. We're at 16, 17. If you're in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. 3 more to go to get to 20. I know some of y'all got some backup accounts, baby. Let's go. And we'll always be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go. Yeah, definitely group therapy. And at least you got a Bronco win, Matt. You know, it was ugly as shit. My best friend Justin, me and him were talking, and that was the ugliest game maybe of 2024. But to get the dub, that's all that matters. Wow. First down, Ravens. Isaiah Likely with the catch. But Bo looked terrible early on, but again, you know, Sutton got enough to be able to get them the dub, even though it was very low scoring with bad weather. But back-to-back wins for the Broncos, that's huge, you know, considering a lot of people only thought they would win a handful of games, and, you know, they've already got a couple within the first month, so that's a great sign for Sean Payton and Bo Nix. First down and 10 for Lamar, 14-3 Ravens. Lamar wheeling and dealing. Oh, Mark Andrews, you bum. Boo. What happened to you, Mark? What happened to my hands? Yeah, Jordan Mason should have got another fucking touchdown. He had that nice little extra run at the end, you know, to get him a few more points, you know, but again, you know, to go from getting like 80 fucking points total where all my guys, I had 7 guys shit the bed last week. That was embarrassing. And to lose to the Broncos was a hell for me, man. You know, to go down to 1-2. But at least I was able to, you know, get a few other players to try to strengthen the roster. Cole Kmet, you know, for Laporta, you know, to have a little depth there. You know, getting Sam Darnold to help me out, hopefully for the rest of the year. Shakir to help my depth out at wide receiver while I wait for Cooper Kupp to come back. But I'll tell you what, if I'm still close, right, when McCaffrey and Kupp are healthy, you guys are fucked. Because once I end up having my roster fully healthy, I'm going to start mashing you guys. And you will see, you know, but it only depends if, you know, Cooper is healthy and CMC is healthy, and that's a big what if. But if they're healthy, and I got Sam Darnold at quarterback with all the running backs and wide receivers and all the pieces that I have right now, you know, I could make a deep, deep run, but it just depends on how many games I'm behind everyone at that point when it happens. I might be too far back at that point. You know, I'm not going to be able to win the league. You know, I'm going to have to try to get like 4th place, you know, and I can't go like 1-6. You know, I got to be able to make sure that I get a couple wins to stay afloat with everyone else. But if CMC and Kupp are healthy when they come back, I should be able to start getting 130, 140, 150 a week. And we haven't really seen too many people do that. So fucking Andrews, goddamn goon. 3rd down and 11. Shotgun set. Lamar. Wow, what a rifle. That was a pretty pass. First down, Ravens. Nelson Aguilar. Move the chains. Jacob in the building. What's good? But I am proud that at least I bounced back. I wish I had options to use someone other than Daniel Jones, but, you know, that was the best option on the wire, you know, projected for 18. And I just thought him and Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson would still be able to get enough. You know, I wasn't expecting a 20 or 30 point game, but I was expecting at least 15 to 18, not goddamn 9. But, you know, I guess that's what happens. You know, projections are projections. You know, you can't always believe what you see. Oh, green matchup, 18. You know, oh, he's going to get there. And Daniel Jones did have 2 good games prior to that, but it is Daniel Jones, right? So, obviously, that 1 week flyer fucked me. But, you know, I don't have to worry about Daniel Jones for the rest of the year because he won't be on my team, bum ass. Shotgun set. Henry. Man, Henry looks good, man. We got a Buffalo Bill. Don got fucking run over. He's like, oh, I fucking ran into Derrick Henry. He fucked me up. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, Megan with Koo. That was huge, and he hit that big 50-yarder right at the buzzer to get that extra fiver when he was at 15. That's big. Anytime you can get 15 to 20 out of your kicker and 15 to 20 out of your defense, and you can get like 30 to 50 out of your kicker and D, you win usually 90 to 95% of the time, regardless of what you do on the rest of the spots, because usually you'll end up being halfway decent, unless you just have a dog shit team and the only things that do hit are the defense and the kicker. But that definitely is a big advantage that's definitely overlooked. Tight end, kicker, defense. If you can win those three spots, sometimes you can end up winning the week, even if you have some other running back, quarterback, wide receiver problems. But the only problem is the tight end position fucking stinks this year. And, obviously with defense and kicker, I got Aubrey, so I'm good there. I don't have to change, but for everyone else, kicking is a challenge, and obviously defenses have been a little suspect this year too. Hell, wouldn't you be? You wouldn't want to be on fucking the Titans. They're garbage. Will Levis? Christ. What a terrible Monday night matchup. Imagine if we only had one Monday night game. I really like the idea of having two. So, you can watch both at the same time, or if they did one early and one late, or one that overlaps. But that way that we're not stuck watching one shitty game. Imagine if you had to sit there and watch Tennessee, Miami with no Tua, and you're looking at Levis. God damn. I feel bad for Waddle and Tyreek fantasy owners. There's not a whole lot there, but at least we get the Seahawks and the Lions, which should be better. Yeah, but they're not going to do that every week, though. I need Khalil Shakir to take some steroids, some PEDs, rub some dirt on it, get out there, and I need him to get to at least 15. Let's go, baby. And obviously they're down, so they're going to have to throw the ball. They're not going to abandon the run with James Cook, but if Josh Allen has a touchdown pass or two, and it's not to Cook, Shakir would probably be the second option, and then Kincaid, or vice versa. So I got to hope Josh Allen starts being Josh Allen here. No, fuck that. Fuck that. You're 2-1. Don't be greedy. Good tackle by Buffalo. Flag on the play. Levis is terrible. He's unwatchable. If you're talking about a guy that fucks up every night, going down to his knees and throwing pick sixes. It's like Matt Schaub all over again, but worse. Levis is terrible. The only thing that he's got going for him, he's got the fucking mayonnaise advertisement, with his little, like an NIL deal, like a college kid with the mayonnaise, That's the only thing that motherfucker's got going for him. That team stinks. And I knew it was going to be a little bit tougher. If Buffalo was at home, I know Shakir's stats would be better, but I just didn't feel comfortable with Amari Cooper. It's like Amari Cooper can have a couple bad games and then a breakout game, but incomplete. But after scoring 2 touchdowns the previous week, what are the chances of Amari Cooper doing it again? And that's why I didn't start him, because I think Deshaun Watson is ass, and they got Jameis as the backup. Now, if they had Joe Flacco still in Cleveland, then I would like my options, But Amari Cooper's value is definitely going to be hit or miss, just like everyone on that team for the Browns, whether it's the running backs, the wide receivers, or the tight ends. Deshaun Watson is some booty. Shotgun set, 3rd and 14. Check down. Look at Justice Hill. Look at that speed. First down, Ravens. That's why, like, there's so many factors that are into play when you play fantasy. Not only does the player have to be elite, you have to be able to have a quarterback that can get them the goddamn ball, and they have to get enough targets. So if you're not getting a good target share, a good percentage of the looks, and your quarterback is a little iffy, it's a real risk on playing players like that, And it's not about name recognition. It's just about, targets and looks. Cleveland Browns are a mess. 3-yard gain by Henry. Yeah, but top 7, 8 route runner doesn't mean shit in fantasy unless you're getting 10, 15, 20 points a week. Like, no one cares. It's like if you're like the 30th or 35th ranked wide receiver, no one gives a shit if they're the 7th, 8th route runner in the NFL. At the end of the day, it's all about points. It's like you're going to be getting looks because you're the number 1 receiver, but what are you going to be doing with those looks? Shotgun set. Lamar, 2nd and 7. Floater, got a man. Touchdown, Justice Hill. Ravens. Yeah, I haven't got a chance to watch it tonight, but I have it on the DVR. New Simpsons season and new Bob's Burgers. So I got that on the DVR. Well, the Ravens are at home, so even though they're 1-2, I'm not really sure how big of an upset it is. I mean, the Bills are 3-0, and you had to think at some point the Bills' defense was going to get exposed, but they just need to be able to get James Cook going and get Shakir the ball over and over and over so I can beat Shep in fantasy. That's all that matters. Great throw by Lamar. Justice Hill, a nice RB2 option. Good hands, safe flowers. And Lamar finally, has a true wide receiver one, a true running back one. And they used to have a tight end one in Mark Andrews, but him and Likely are so streaky now. It's like, I don't even know if you can trust Mark Andrews. I don't know, to go from a guy that was a top 3, top 4 tight end. Like, I think Isaiah Likely is the better tight end now. And I know he had one really good breakout game, against the Chiefs. And then the last 2 weeks, he's done nothing because Lamar hasn't got him the ball. But if you're just looking at targets and what they do with yak yards, I think Isaiah Likely has passed Mark Andrews. When Mark Andrews ended up getting that injury, it just seems like he hasn't been the same player since. Like, I don't think anybody trusts him anymore. Oh, okay. Let me look. Yeah, you're only at 3-point underdog now. 106 to 107. He's got David Montgomery. And Montgomery is gonna, he's gonna do something. But you need a big game out of Lamar. Like, you still need, you need Lamar to get to like 30 to 40 points to win. Or high 20s, and then Montgomery to get like a low number, But Montgomery is the 9th running back overall, and he's an RB2. Kind of like Charbonnet for me, He's got 16, 17, and 21 in his first 3 games. I mean, there's not very many RB2s that put up numbers like that, and he scored a touchdown every game this season. So we'll see what happens for you there. Yeah, so you need Montgomery to have a stinker, and I need Shep to have a stinker with Kenneth Walker. But again, the Lions defense will, they're definitely going to make it difficult. And I would assume the Lions are going to win tomorrow too, because you got 4 starters out for the Hawks. 2 defensive linemen, their best two defensive linemen, and 2 starting linebackers. So, I mean, it's still a chance. Seattle does own Detroit the last 4 or 5 years, but that might be too much to overcome. 4 starters out of 11, that's a lot. But we'll see. Could go either way still. They're still good enough players on both sides that anything could happen, right? Yeah, but not against the number one run defense. Go look to see what the running backs have done against the Detroit Lion defense when they've gone against them. You haven't looked at your stats, my guy. Stats and analytics. That's not you. That's me, baby. You're not going to get a whole lot of points out of Walker, my guy. The only way that you get it is if he gets in the end zone. And hopefully they prevent him from getting into the end zone. It really could be, a 40 to 50-yard game for him. Good defense there by the Ravens. No. No, you're not. I got to get the dub, and I'm going to get the dub against you on Thursday too. Hey, if the Saints got the injuries, right, and they're going to start scaling back, and you're going to leapfrog them, you got to recognize who the number one team in the NFC South is. Tampa Bay Bucs. We're trying to go for the NFC South title 4 years in a row, baby. And the Falcons are getting better. I'll give you that. But we're going for blood, baby. Shakir back in the game, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I need some tutties from Shakir. Let's go, baby. Sports gods, you hear me? I need Shakir. Yeah, I need to beat Shep. Yeah, he beat me by 0.5. Yeah. He's getting too cocky with this 9 or 20 plus points on D. Yep. And beat him on Thursday. Yep. Okay. All right. Sports gods are on my side, so you're fucked now. 3rd down and long. 21-3 Ravens. Sports gods are locked in with your boy. Wow. Allen got no time with that offensive line. You actually think you're going to beat me on Thursday? Fuck that, bro. You can beat the Saints. You ain't beating me, though. Beating the Saints is one thing, but beating Tampa is another level, bro. We're the top team in the NFC South. We're not fucking the Carolina Panthers, and we're not the Saints, and we're still injured. We haven't even had Antoine Winfield Jr. almost the whole fucking season. But we definitely need Vita Vea. We're going to need Tristan Wirfs and Graham Barton. Everyone needs to be out there. But I do like your defense, if I'm being honest. Jesse Bates III and Justin Simmons, those guys are nice. And then obviously adding Matthew Judon, those 3 pieces have transformed your team. And again, you guys have been waiting a long, long time to have a good defense, and now you guys finally do. And I'm happy for you on that regard. I still going to want to beat your ass on Thursday. But as far as watching the Falcons, they're fun now. They're not like a liability on defense. And again, offensively, they're still going to be kind of hit or miss with their players, but they have fun players to watch. Kirk Cousins, Bijan, Drake London, Pitts, right? Mooney has been playing well for you. You got a good offensive line. It's just, adding more and more pieces. And there is a chance that maybe we both finish in the top 2, and maybe Saints finish in 3rd if they can't get healthy. But I wouldn't count out the Saints completely, but obviously the injuries are pretty significant. And then the center for the Saints might be out for 6 to 8 weeks. So if that's the case, they might go on a big skid. I know Elliott knows. So, anytime you end up having significant injuries to your line, offense or defense, that could be a disaster, just waiting to happen. So is he? Is he slowed down? He's not a good player anymore? Has age finally caught up to him? Damn, and the Saints got fucking KC next week. Shit. I mean, KC, obviously with no Pacheco, and Rashee Rice might be out for the year, but let's see, Matthew, Taysom, Cesar Ruiz, that's the big one. Rattler not playing, no big deal, but Willie Gay, Taysom Hill, Tyrann Mathieu, obviously on the injury report, but Ruiz, that's, people don't realize if you don't have your center and he's a good one, that's tough. But obviously no Pacheco and Rashee Rice will help you guys. But that's going to be Sunday night Football. What do we got? I'm looking here. Wow. So Monday night is Saints Chiefs. Sunday night is Cowboys Steelers. Wow. I'm peeking ahead. I got to look at the schedule. Damn! Week 12, they're trying to make your players like fall apart? That's nuts. I hope that you guys stay safe out there. Golly. Week 12, who made a schedule for that? Shotgun set, little screen pass. Baker is baking. I would agree with that. What's up with him? Short-term injuries or long-term? Damn, Cam Jordan is, what the hell happened to him? He's like, I'm just collecting a paycheck. I don't give a fuck anymore. 21-3 Ravens. Come on, Buffalo. I need some Shakir touchdowns, baby. Lamar is like a fucking deer. I haven't seen too many people, that it doesn't even really look like he's trying, but he's so gifted athletically and physically where he can just take a couple steps and he's already 10 yards down the field. I've never seen a player like him. So quick. I mean, we've seen guys like RG3 and, Colin Kaepernick and Michael Vick. And, we've seen other guys, that have been able to run kind of a gimmick offense where they're, a running quarterback, but not like Lamar. Lamar is built different. Yeah, I don't think Milroe is going to be that good of a pro, though. He might get drafted in like the 4th round. He might be the best quarterback in college football, this year. And obviously, Ryan Williams, I've never seen a 17-year-old Moss spin move, double spin move, and have the players run into each other, and then Tyreek Hill down the sideline. I have never seen a 17-year-old player, from high school as good as Ryan Williams there on Bama. That is crazy. But again, obviously Shep being a Georgia fan, not what he wanted to see, but at least he got the Falcon win against the Saints. But, Bama has kind of had Georgia's number going back to last year. And again, when you end up having arguably the best quarterback or one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in college football, better than Carson Beck and Milroe, and then you end up you got a 17-year-old wide receiver that looks like a combination of like Tyreek and DeAnthony Thomas. I mean, what do you do? The guy is fucking unstoppable. So, I mean, we'll see where it goes, but pretty wild. 2nd down and 8. Lamar going deep. Wide open. Rashad Bateman, 1st down, Ravens. No, but Lamar is a better thrower. Milroe is going to have problems in the NFL with his accuracy. Like I said, he's elusive in college, but again, you could be, elusive or even win a Heisman, like Marcus Mariota and some of these other guys, Jameis Winston, but there's no guarantee that, you can be elite in college, but that doesn't mean you're going to be elite in the NFL. It's a man's game. It all depends on your development, the team that you're on, supporting cast, coaches, play callers. It's more than just being physically gifted nowadays. You have to be coachable, and you got to have a little bit of luck, depending on the team that you get on too. Yeah, but the Texans got obliterated by the Vikings last week. So, even though the Bills, might lose this game, right? Even though I think they'll make adjustments in the second half, that doesn't mean that the Texans are just going to run the Bills out of the building. Again, it's like the Bucs. We look really good in the first 2 weeks. Then we shit the bed against the Broncos. Then we played the Eagles and beat the shit out of them, but they didn't have A.J. Brown and Devante Smith. But every week is an opportunity to prove yourself. And anyone can beat anybody on any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. We know this. This is the NFL, right? So We can always peek ahead, but anything can happen. I mean, Milroe will be a project QB, wherever he goes, but he's not first round. But it's not like I think Shakir's hand fumble. There we go. That's the turnover I needed. There we go. Sorry, Elliott. There we go, Buffalo. Time to get a touchdown with Shakir right before halftime. 21-10, baby. Let's go. There we go. Yeah, but dude, if you're Georgia, Bama, or Ohio State, you definitely have the advantage over every other fucking school on planet Earth. Like every year, you're going to be the top dog. There's just going to be maybe a team or two ahead of you, or you might be the top dog, but every single year, I mean, if you're Georgia, Bama, or Ohio State, that's the, fan bases that people wish they could be a part of, And obviously losing that one-on-one matchup stinks, but that doesn't mean that you can't get payback later on in the year in the playoff or SEC championship game. James Cook on the ground, and you don't want to abandon the run. The last thing that you want to do there, I mean, I need points with Shakir, but again, to get those points, I need Cook to be able to run the ball effectively. So that way, then they cheat up, and then maybe I can get a play action over the top, or maybe one-on-one coverage with no safety, and then Shakir, boom, right in the breadbasket, points for me, and I can make this a little bit more interesting against Shep. 2nd down and 5, 21-3 Ravens. So that was your first Falcon game of the year, right? You got a chance to go to a couple Braves games, even though you've been working a lot, right? And so what's your schedule like? Are you bouncing around the country, from airport to airport still, or do they have you back, kind of in the South now, like where you typically live, in the Atlanta area? What's been going on with you? First Falcon game. That's a pretty good one. Obviously, Elliott didn't like it, and the Saints fans fucking hated it. But the thing is, I think the Saints fans kind of knew that could happen, right? Because obviously when you have your center out, and we saw what happened last week, obviously they still were confident that they could win. But after seeing some of the turnovers in the game, and, you could kind of see the game slipping through their fingers a little bit. And again, Atlanta, New Orleans, and Tampa, we're all equally good. Carolina's, the only shitty team in the division, but they look a little bit better with Andy Dalton rather than Bryce Young. They're not as shitty, right? But it's a 3-team race. But really, it's going to come down to who's going to be healthy enough. Because again, if Tampa gets a couple more injuries or the Falcons do, we're going to be right where the Saints are too. So, but again, I mean, I'm already there. I mean, Antoine Winfield Jr. hasn't played, in 2-3 games, and that worries me, because I need to be able to have the best safety in football back, covering that back end. So, your birthday. Happy early birthday, my guy. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're still waiting for a first dono on the dono train. Your boys got bills to pay. All right, we hit 20 likes, so at least we hit that goal. So that's good. Next goal will be 30. Now we're at 21. 9 more likes to get to 30. And hopefully we'll get a couple people to be gracious enough to be able to support your boy. 21-3 Ravens. I could definitely see that happening. I think we're going to go through peaks and valleys. Tampa, Atlanta, and New Orleans. Like, we're going to have, moments of joy where it's just going to be unreal. And then there's just going to be moments of despair where we're just going to be punching the air and just fucking pissed for the whole week, But it's definitely going to be a 3-team division. And how many teams in the NFL are going to battle it out to have 3 battling it out for the divisional crown? Not many. We're one of the only divisions in football that's going to have 3 that are going to be competitive. So, Allen, good decision by going down here. Third down and 2. I need Shakir, baby. Shotgun set. Allen. Broken up by Humphrey, but at least he knew where to go. Well, you got to go for it now. I mean, you're already down by 18. Man, if he just would have turned his head after it bounced off his helmet, Shakir could have got that. Come on, baby. Oh, you know he's getting catches, bro. There's a good chance that he gets in the end zone because, again, it's James Cook, Kincaid, or Shakir. So, and they're down by 18, so it's not like they're going to run the football. You know, the Ravens are going to try to bleed the clock, but when you're down by 18, there's going to be plenty of, opportunities. I just hope that there's enough for me to cash in here. No, but I gotta rock with Shakir and Evans until I get Cooper Kupp back. And then at that point, I might be able to run 3 wide receivers, depending on the matchup, or I'll just go with Cooper Kupp and whoever has the best matchup, Evans or Shakir. And then obviously I got to wait for my run CMC to get healthy. Go to Germany, get a fucking bionic leg, and get the fuck out there. But at least Jordan Mason's been giving me some decent points since, CMC has been out. 4th and 2. Let's go. I don't know. Maybe forever. He stinks, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, he's got a hip issue. He can't throw. He's not accurate. He can't even run the football effectively. It's like everything that I thought I was getting out of a guy that could be the next Cam Newton, he can't do. Week number 1, he put up 26, and that was great. But since then, he has been dog shit. And I can't really let him go from my roster just yet. He'll have to be on my bench, but if something else is, more lucrative that is available, I might have to dump him in a month or 2. I don't know. We'll see. Tripp's right. 4th down and 2. Shotgun set for Allen. Does that delay a game? Yeah, but again, bro, you just started. Like, you know what I mean? My first job was 12 years old. If you get your first job and you're at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and you don't got the work ethic, and you don't understand what it's like, of course you're not going to like it. Yeah, that's why you got to get a job early. And you have to understand that it's called a job for a reason, right? It's not fun time. It's a job. So got to learn how to be able to go through the work ethic and the grind. Hell, I used to have 2 or 3 jobs before I was full-time on this job. Work ethic is something that's not just inherited, That's something that's you either have it in you or you don't. 1st down and 10. Shotgun set. Allen. Going deep and complete. But I would assume AR will probably be out for a couple weeks. But it's not like the Colts are really missing anything. It's really been, Jonathan Taylor, the defense here and there, even though they haven't been great, but good enough to win. But Joe Flacco is definitely a better quarterback than AR. And Joe Flacco was very good last year for the Browns. He was better than Deshaun Watson. Allen going deep. Got a man. Incomplete. Keon Coleman. Yeah, where was the hold on the Ravens there? Look, he's holding them. Come on, man. Come on, Buffalo. Allen. Offensive line not doing a very good job, but the Ravens are just that damn good on defense. And they're at home, so they're motivated. They're the more hungry team. Yeah, but also you got to think that if Buffalo was at home, what's the score? It's not 21-3 Ravens. I'm not saying it's 21-3 Bills either, but home field advantage obviously is a real thing. But if I had to put money on it, if the game was in Buffalo, Buffalo would be ahead right now. And you're probably not getting an 87-yard touchdown out of Derrick Henry right out of the gates either. You know, but again, that's what makes football fun, right? You never know what you're going to get on any given day. Come on, Coleman, you fucking bum. There's a reason why Josh Allen doesn't fucking go to you. I don't give a shit if you're in the second round pick or not. Garbage. Hopefully no more looks for Coleman the rest of the game and all for Shakir, baby. Pepperoni pizza, baby. Little pepperoni princess. I mean, I worked at, I did crawdadding, with my dad at like 12, but I did Thriftway, at like a grocery store as like a bag boy, and then the recycling area, for the cans and whatnot, which I kind of enjoyed. And then ended up going to Euros, like at the food court at the mall, KB toy stores, so, again, when you end up, working, you just got to be able to find, your right fit. Oh, yeah. There's very rare amounts of Bucs fans. Like, they don't really exist. They're either at the game or they're not really on social media. We got a guy named Scott that, hops on the channel once in a while or watches some of the Bucs reaction videos and whatnot. But I don't know. The representation for the NFC South is definitely, more Panthers, Falcons, and Saints. And I'm okay with that. I mean, obviously, it would be cool to be able to vibe, with more Bucs fans, but they just don't exist. 21-3 Ravens. Oh, there was a few. I had to give them the boot, though, I've given a lot of people the boot. Hundreds. I mean, I can't even imagine to tell you what my sub count would be at if I didn't boot so many people out in the last 3 years, but I want the room to be fun. I don't want it to be like, even if someone is donating me money, but if they're an asshole, it's like, cool, like I'm getting money to pay my bills, but I don't want someone to be a dick and think that they can get away with it just because they're donating money, And I've had to, boot some of those people, that were, usually regular donators as well, so it's not all about the money. Now I need to have enough to be able to keep, paying the bills, to continue the dream. But I would rather, have that person or people that are toxic, they can spend their money somewhere else, All right, we're at halftime. Not the best start for the Buffalo Bills. 21-3 Ravens. Oh, all the pepperoni princesses. Stop. 21-3 Ravens.
They're doing a good job. Got us out of rhythm a little bit. We got to settle in and do our job. Yardage, Baltimore 280, Buffalo 90 that first half. Ravens get the ball to start the second half. You get Parade.
You guys remember the name. Don't act like you don't remember the name. You know the name, and you know the name as well. And we had more than one. Exactly. There you go. There you go. You got it. You remember now. You know, and again, you're going to always get fans, but then you're going to get people that are not in touch, you know, with reality. You know, they live in their own reality, you know, and again, you're going to get good fans and you're going to get, you know, delirious, delusional fans. You know, where even when the other team does something well, you know, no credit is ever given. And then if something bad happens with the Saints, it's not their fault. It was cheating. It was the refs. It was the other team. It was conspiracy. You know, everyone is against us. You know, it's never, ever taking accountability that maybe your team just fucked up and they played bad. No. It can't be that. It can't be that. You know, there definitely was some cheating going on, you know. You got to be able to look forward and not look back, you know. And again, I think that was kind of the problem when they ended up having the best record for 4 or 5 years straight, that every season, instead of looking forward, they kept looking back on all the times that they got ripped off. And did they get ripped off? Yeah, you did. Big time. Maybe more than any other franchise or fan base, you know, but and it wasn't right that happened, because I think the Saints, if they would have beat the Rams and that PI was called, they would have won the Super Bowl that year. I'm 100% confident, you know, because they barely beat the Rams, New England, and it was low scoring. I think it would have been a little bit more, but I think the Saints could have easily gotten to 20, 23, and maybe New England got to 17-20, and then maybe the Saints win by 3 or 4, something like that. It wouldn't have been a blowout, but it would have been a close game. You know, New England's defense was very good that year, and, you know, it's not like that game was high scoring. That was like a 13-10 Super Bowl, maybe arguably the worst Super Bowl in the last 20 years, but, you know, but just not being able to get over the cheating, you know, and one year after another, you know, the Minneapolis miracle with Diggs, right? Then the bullshit no call against the Rams, and then the push off, you know, by Kyle Rudolph that wasn't called, Vikings again, you know, it never ended, right? Yeah. But again, you know, karma is real. So, you know, good things happen to good people. Bad things obviously will happen to people that are suspect. Sarah in the building. You are going to win this week. You got your win. AR injured again. Steichen was an idiot for putting him back in the game after he already got hurt. But honestly, you have a better team with Flacco running the show. So, you know, that means that the receivers are going to get more looks, downs, right? Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce. You know, Taylor is going to do a good job regardless on who the fucking quarterback is. But, you know, congratulations on beating the Steelers. And, you know, I don't know what to say about AR. You know, I'm on the brink of just giving him the fucking boot, you know. And thank God I got Sam Darnold, because, you know, I can't stand fucking getting 5 to 9 points out of my quarterback. I'm sick of it. So, you know, but I hope that he gets better, but he's definitely going in the wrong direction. And he's starting to turn into this injury-prone Greg Oden of the NFL, and I don't like it. Hopefully he ends up getting healthy and can end up working on his skills. So, right? I mean, yeah, right? Pepperoni wifey. I mean, let's be real, Matt, right? So you're at your job. There's a cute girl. She shows interest. What are you going to be like? No? Fuck that. You're not going to be like, no. You know, you're going to, you know, this will give you an opportunity to actually interact with people, you know, instead of just being at your house or working out or trying to draw up plays on Twitter/X and go over like different play breakdowns. I mean, you never know, you know, who you might end up meeting, you know, and it's not like you necessarily have to be looking, you know, but if this is like one of your first jobs, most people will end up meeting someone at a job at one point or another. Now, if it ends up being something long-term or short-term, who knows, right? But there's nothing wrong with being able to meet someone at a job, regardless if you work at fast food, a restaurant, a pizza place. It doesn't matter. Grocery store. There's going to be quality people that have jobs. You know, they're out there. You know, just got to find them.
No way. I mean, he's on fire right now. First off, the precision passing, what he's doing down the field here, reception depth in the pocket, off his back foot, 30-yard laser.
OG Young Stepper.
Another unbelievable job.
He said, let me show you the sauce. Wax on, wax off. This is how I put the tomato sauce down, girl. She'd be like, damn. Pepperoni, pepperoni, pepperoni. Sausage, sausage. Cheese, cheese, cheese. That's how it's done. Oh, I need some fucking points, baby. Pepperoni, pepperoni, sausage, cheese, cheese, cheese. Give me some goddamn points, damn it. Rashee Rice, MRI on injured knee. Torn ACL, more than likely. Sucks for Reflect, but now he's starting to feel the pain that I'm going through with fucking CMC and Cooper Kupp. But at least he still's got Nico Collins and CeeDee Lamb, though. But when you have 3 of the top 5 or 6 receivers, you're probably going to be undefeated. Shakir is at 4 points. So I'm right there with your Keenan Allen bullshit. But I need more, baby. Kenneth Walker, I need him to get 5 to 8. You know, Detroit Lions, Aiden Hutchinson, a bunch of sack lunches. Make it difficult for the running backs, for Walker and Charbonnet, even though I got Charbonnet on the bench. I need a Shakir touchdown here. And if I get really lucky, how about 2? Yeah. But at least you're getting your first win in fantasy instead of having to go like 0-6, 0-7 like last year. Like literally, we're going to have a couple 1-3 teams, right? We're going to have one 4-0 team more than likely out of Reflect, you know, but with this Rashee Rice injury, other teams are going to catch up. And then we're going to have a good chunk of the fucking teams that are 2-2. So we'll see where it goes, you know, whether that ends up being me and Captain Oreo and Sarah at 1-3. But I feel like if there's so many 2-2 teams and there's injuries, you know, a 1-3 can turn into 2-3 and 3-3 pretty realistically. It's not like if you go 1-3, the season's over, but you would definitely have to make the correct moves on the wire and get a little bit of luck from your players to fucking hit. So. No 3-1 team. There's not going to be a 3-1. Everybody 2-2. Oh, wait. Now, if Lamar has a big second half, Elliott, you got a shot, man. You got a shot.
Fans, you always show up big.
Yeah, well, finally, you're getting a dub. You should have got a dub last week, but it just so happens that you played a person that just got a little bit more than you. But You outscored pretty much 90% of the league last week. So realistically, you should have got a dub last week, but the sports gods were a little cruel to you. And then at least this week, a majority of your guys hit. So, it's like me last week having my whole team get fucking 80 and having 7 guys shit the bed getting like 5 points apiece. I can't have guys like James Conner hitting a fucking 5. I need fucking 20, Like, how the hell are you supposed to win when you got star players that you expect 15, 20, 25, and they put up a 5? Like, fuck my life, but that's fantasy, right? But I think it's going to be definitely up in the air. This is the most competitive that we've had, in the 8 years that I've done the channel and done the league. Like, I don't really know what's going to happen. Like, I think any number of teams can make it. Like, I don't really think there's anyone that can't. And even Chief, he was the worst team, in the first 2 to 3 weeks. He's won back-to-back, where me and Captain Oreo were looking like, wow, we're going to be in the playoffs. And then all of a sudden now, we might not even make the playoffs. Like, a lot can change in a week or two in fantasy. That's for damn sure. All right, 21-3 Ravens. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And we're still shooting for the first dono on the dono train. We're at 20 likes. We need 10 more to get to 30. And then we're still shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. All right, Buffalo kicking off to the Ravens. All right, I need some garbage time points, baby. Let's go. And we got Seahawks and Lions tomorrow. Playoff baseball Tuesday, Wednesday. Falcons and Bucs on Thursday Night Football. And then Michigan State, Oregon on Friday. Lamar. Grounding, baby. Intentional grounding. Second down. Bills are good enough to come back. I'm not saying that they're going to win, but we'll see what kind of halftime speech that we got here from McDermott and company. See if they can get a little bit more motivated. Second and 24. Well, 4-yard pass. Justice Hill. Good defense there by Buffalo. Let's go, baby. Taylor Rapp out. That's not good. Concussion. Trips left. Shotgun set on 3rd and 20. Going long, going deep, and complete. Zay Flowers trying to keep his balance there. All right, Buffalo. Let's go, baby. All right, 5 more likes to get to 25, 10 more to get to 30. We're at 21. Let's go, baby. Already halfway through the game. Not even one dono. Way to make me feel appreciated. Come on. 2 hours in? First down and 10. James Cook. Short gain. Hamilton is money. He's always been good. Second down and 11. Shotgun set. Curtis Samuel with the catch. Third down and 5 on the Buffalo 45. Shotgun set. Allen looking for a target. Get open. Heaves it downfield. He's open. Let's go. Woo! Sports gods, did you get my message? Yes, I fucking did. Boom. Let's go. Would have been better if he would have scored a tutty on that. Let's go. There we go, baby. There we go. Hand off to Ty Johnson. Touchdown, Bills, and they're right back in it. They don't be surprised if they come back and win this game. Not saying that they will, but they're going to play much better than they did in that first half, and that's the momentum that they needed, baby. Let's go. Yes. Hell yeah. That tutty would have been great, though, after that big, long catch. Yes, sir. 10.2. Woo! Let's go. I need another 10. Yeah, baby. He's getting more. You already know. You're fucked, bro. He's getting more. He's his number one receiver. Let's go, baby. 21-10. Just chip away, chip away, chip away. Chip, 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 chip away. Nice job, Shakir. Let's go. I don't know about that comment, Matt. Seems like you ate too many pepperonis at work. Come on, brother. There we go, baby. Let's go. 21-10. Bills. Only down by 11. Let's go.
It's go time. And at AAA, we're here for it.
I got to check up on Paisley. Woo!
All in for the spontaneous road trip and the well-planned vacation. For worry-free commutes, awesome adventures, and great escapes. From camping under the stars to 4-star hotels. We're where you need us most, with the best roadside assistance, like we have been for more than 120 years. Wherever your journey takes you, we're here to power it. AAA, here for you.
This vehicle isn't just a mode of transportation. It's a reflection of the adventurous spirit, hailing from the heart of the United Kingdom, where legends are born and tradition comes a true off-road champ for the complete of the Pacific Northwest. In Australia, born in the UK, named the Northwest, proudly offer the long-time tourist market.
Landmark Ford team members make terrific spokespeople.
I want to give you a good service, good value, most importantly, the best experience.
If I didn't work at Landmark Ford, I would have.
We got quite a bit of collection of brand dealerships.
Our service department here at Landmark Ford is open until night.
We are easy to find and easy to get.
Treat customers the way you want to be treated and like family. Exceptional people. That's what makes a difference here at Landmark Ford in Tiger.
Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Hyundai, with joy in every journey. By Liberty Mutual Insurance, only pay for what you need. And by Intuit TurboTax, switch to a TurboTax live expert. It's Friday Night Lights here and rematch Oakdale and Lingadore. They met for the Class 3A state final. Oakdale won at 23. Lingadore won on Friday night, got a little revenge. So at St. Flowers, and I say likely on headed to see these guys, not too far removed from their games played around the state. Touchback, Baltimore gets it back at the 30, and for the latest, Josh Allen Patrick.
So the Bills come out aggressive and blitz Lamar Jackson, and then on offense, a couple of pump fakes here. Let's mix them up on the back end. Ben Roethlisberger all the way over the top. Exactly what.
Nice job, Josh Allen. Let's go. I mean, it's been a rough game for him so far, but he's still been playing the best out of any quarterback in the NFL besides him and Sam Darnold. So now you're down by 11. Now you need a big stop from your defense. First down and 10. They need a big turnover, a strip, a pick, a fumble. Not really. I mean, I get it. They do it so that way that people, aren't going to get injured in CTE. But, I mean, how many, big plays are you going to get, from that particular setup like that? Like, flag on the play. Charlie Carr, the guilty corporate. I got you, baby. Paisley's in here. She misses dad. I mean, I get it. It's, they did it because of safety, and we don't want to see anyone have any like CTE or any like brain injuries or to have any season-ending injuries. But I mean, as far as the excitement is concerned, as far as like big play, punt return, kick return, like you're not really going to get too many of those anymore. There we go, Buffalo. Momentum. Uncle Mo is a motherfucker. I know, man. We're already 2 hours and 16 minutes in, and we're not even at $1. That's sad. Now, if I was brand new to YouTube, then whatever. But, I do have bills to pay. And I ended up doing 2 reaction videos earlier today, too, on top of that. So it's not like I'm a lazy bastard. I'm working fucking every day. 3rd down and 11. Trips right. Shotgun set. Lamar. Nice tackle. There we go. Go lay down, honey. If you want to lay down, go lay down on the couch and I'll come get you when I'm done. Okay? Go lay down. Lay down, honey. Paisley, lay down. You can't stay here. You got to go. Good girl. Lay down. Lay down. Terrific player, development, great and a lot to start the season. Oh, don't fumble it. My God. All right, Buffalo, your turn, baby. Let's go, Josh. There we go. Finally. Thank you so much, man. Every dollar counts. And if you don't think that, even $1 matters, it really does. Because if everyone has the mentality, oh, someone else will do it, then we're never going to get anywhere. So appreciate you, Shep. And that'll definitely help. I can, help with, getting Paisley a new bone or paying a bill, or whatever it may be. Appreciate you. What do you want to do for photos? Shep with a tenner. He's making sure that we're not ending on a 0. We should never be at a point we're at 0 ever. At this point, based on me doing it for so many years, we shouldn't ever be at a 0 on anything. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. We're at 10:90 to go. Let me know what you want to do for photos. You want Falcon photos? You got someone specific that you want to do? Atlanta Braves? You let me know. I got you. And I appreciate it, man. Like I said, the last thing that you want to do is, to work hard and, be at a 0. So Yeah, things might be different this year, though, with no Pacheco and no Rashee Rice. So I'll get you a few more once we get into a commercial break. But here's a nice one of Bajan. And again, it's nice to have the Falcons be relevant. Britt in the building. What's good? Miss ya. Love ya. How was the fair since you didn't get a chance to watch NASCAR? And nice new profile pic. Looking cute. Allen. Flinging it out of bounds. So Ross Chastain ended up smashing down the little watermelon at the end. I think Chase finished in 9th. I got a chance to watch a little bit, but again, I was watching multiple things. A little bit of baseball, a little bit of football, a little bit of NASCAR, a little bit of taking care of Paisley. How are you? Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought you said you went to it yesterday, so you did get a chance to watch it. Anything that you have based off a breakdown in the race from Chase or anybody else? Keon Coleman, baby. First down, Bills. Gain that momentum. How was the fair? Was the fair good? How's Colton? And I didn't get a chance to watch all of the race. I'm going to probably have to see if I can check a replay, like on FS1 if they have it. But I only got to see maybe a quarter of the race, if that. Handoff to Cook. Short game. 2nd down and 6 at the Buffalo 47. Gain of 6 yards for James Cook. Yeah, I don't think so either. I would agree with that. Stormbum in the building. What's good? $21-10 Ravens. James Cook again. And once James Cook starts cooking, watch out. Once it gets to 21-17, don't be surprised if Buffalo keeps rolling.
Coming right down to the wire, and then just what the NFL is. These things are close. These are not open to football.
21-10 Ravens. 1st down and 10 for Buffalo. Allen, hands off to Cook. They're definitely going heavy Cook, and that's what I would be doing as well. Keep pounding the rock. You got a top 10 running back, sometimes who plays like a top 5 running back. And, keep pounding the rock. Eventually, he'll end up bursting through to the 2nd level, to the linebackers, having a couple big gains, might end up getting into the end zone, and that'll open it up for, not only guys like Dalton Kincaid, but Shakir and Coleman. So we'll see where it goes. Shotgun set. Direct snap. Back to Allen. Oh, and he fumbled it. Wow. They got too cute trying to do the trick play, and Allen fumbles it. Wow, they should have been much smarter than that to run a play like that against the Ravens. That was very bad. And we got multiple players down. Like, why would you even run that play? Brady needs to be fired. That was the dumbest shit ever. Like, you're finally getting back into the game, and then now you run this play? And he gets fucking drilled right there, too. Like, you're not the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, what are you doing? And you're playing a good defense. It's not like you're playing the fucking Tennessee Titans or the Carolina Panthers. My God. 1st down and 10, Baltimore. That was a terrible play call. Little acting job by Dalton Kincaid. Looking like LeBron James out there. Dumbass call, man. They had all the momentum. They didn't need to get cute right there to do some kind of flea flicker or trick play. Keep pounding the rock and just, doing what you know what to do, and you're going to probably end up getting 3 on the drive, maybe even 6 if you're lucky. All that hard work for the defense to be able to battle back with the momentum, just poof, gone. Stupid. Lamar. Hands off to Henry. Short gain. Gain of about 4 yards there, down to the Baltimore 45. Yeah, it was just one of those matchups, obviously with the rain and a 10-9 final. If you ended up having Breece Hall, who normally puts up 20 to 25 a game, or Garrett Wilson, just like, Captain Oreo, when you double up, sometimes it can be tough, but obviously Jaden Daniels got you more points than Jalen Hurts, so I'm always going to point you in the right direction. Not everyone's going to hit. Wow, Derrick Henry rumbling and a bumbling. First down, Ravens. 26-yard gain for Derrick Henry. I think you got your priorities out of whack, my guy. The Vince documentary, I haven't watched it yet. I mean, it's not going to give, everything to show what kind of dirtbag Vince McMahon really is and whatnot, because supposedly he was supposed to come back towards the end, but then the allegations for the sexual misconduct came out and he never came back. Then he tried to buy the documentary so he could destroy it. And, so you're not really going to get the truth. They're just going to give you enough of some of the things that so. Yeah, I will end up watching it. I mean, you already know, he's definitely not a normal type of person. Wants to abuse his power, obviously, as much as he can. Nice tackle there by the Bills. Yeah, well, I think everyone already knew that, at the very start. Think about how many, female talent, ended up, doing something with Vince or one of Vince's boys just, as a promise that they're going to get a belt or an opportunity for a title match. I mean, think about how many times that happened, over the years. Little check down. Nice broken tackle. Wow. Justice Hill hit him with the spin cycle. First down, Ravens. Move the chains. That was a very athletic move. Yeah, I'll end up watching it. I mean, but a lot of the, paperwork and allegations that have come out based on the people that have sued him for hush money, he's a terrible person. Not just like a bad person, but like a terrible human being. Shotgun set, first down and goal. Lamar with the keeper. Nice block. Touchdown, Ravens. What a block. Nice job by the Ravens. Yeah, bad blood in Atlanta. Shep, are you going? October 5th. Extra point is up from J Tuck. And it's good. Tucker hasn't had a very good year so far. 28-10, Ravens.
I'm your new lieutenant.
Oh, nice.
I need you like me. I need you to listen to me.
Control, should you be?
I'm not giving up on this case.
I'm just getting started.
Bud Light. It's easy to watch NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV.
For everybody, right? Here, just not for everybody.
Visit BudLight.com for a chance to win.
So, cheers. Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and plucked. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
Law and Order at SVU.
Law and Order, baby.
Law and Order Thursday, of course, Thursday on NBC. And Peacock, take a look inside United States Naval Academy.
Sarah, you gonna I don't know if you're gonna be here for the rest of the stream or not, but if you can help me with the mod duties while you're here, I'd appreciate it. I got to have at least one person willing to do the job. $28-10 Ravens. Shotgun set for Allen. Pass incomplete. No, you don't got to worry about it, Matt. You know, I've given you plenty of opportunities, you know, to be able to handle certain responsibilities. You don't need to do it anymore, my guy. I need to be able to have people I can count on. You know, I can't have unreliable people, you know, that are gonna not be able to help me out here. So I need to be able to have people that are gonna be able to do the job. So I don't need you to do it. There we go. First down, Bills. Move the chains. I can't have you do it when it's convenient to you. You know, like I said, this is my channel. So other than that, I'll have to do it myself, or we'll find someone like Sarah or Elliot or someone else that will be able to help when they can, or DX. Second down and 6.
causing knots and wins. Tight end combo.
Yeah, Dalton Kincaid really has become the receiving backer, right? We talked about Khalil Shakir there. There's the number one receiver put in Kincaid for the matchup as number two. So why did it tight end for right? With higher targets here, I think.
Shotgun set. Allen. Nice catch by Keon Coleman. Sure, that'll help. Communication is key, and again, if I can't get good communication out of people that are lead mod or doing the duties, I need to be able to find someone that can. And if for whatever reason someone doesn't want to do it, you just have to be able to speak up and say it instead of having me remove you. It's very simple. It's like communication. Like, I'm my own boss. I'm the CEO. And again, I have to be able to make these decisions. Got to be able to have reliable people that are going to help. And it just can't be whenever you want to do it. And then, and if it's something that you feel that you can't handle, you got to speak up. But for whatever reason, it seems like whenever we get into a position like this, people have a hard time being able to speak up and just be honest. It's not that hard. 2nd down and 10. Because like I said, I can do it by myself, or we can find others in the room that are willing to do it. Yeah. We're at 10, 90 to go. Momentum definitely shifted after that turnover with Buffalo. Easily it could be 28-17 right now. Humphrey with the blitz. And Allen tries to throw it away late. End of the third quarter, 28-10, Baltimore. And all of the momentum is now back with Baltimore. End of the third quarter, 28-10, Ravens. All right, take a look at the points, see where we're at. All right, Shep, 125 to 116 now, but projection is 129 to 128, so we're definitely right there, neck and neck. Megan and Matt are right there, neck and neck as well. Projected 127 to 119. Sarah getting the win over Zini, 130 to 87. So she's now getting her first dub. Congrats on that. And then Elliot, you're right there. You're only projected to lose by 2. You just need a little bit more out of Lamar. You get a little bit more out of Lamar, then you might be able to do it. And then Chief will Chief with a big win on Captain Oreo. Crazy stuff in this first month. No, we need some more catches. He's only at 10.2. Man, I hate to be able to have injuries, that are significant like that, and we have to wait for the MRI. But it looks like an ACL. That sucks, because at least with Njoku and with Mixon, your 2 players that you barely got to use in these first 4 weeks, it hasn't really affected your record, at least yet. 4-0 or maybe 3-1 if Elliott can get a big Lamar fourth quarter, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. Depending on if Montgomery has a big game, obviously tomorrow, which he's scored every game that he's played in. Goff has not been good this year. Amon-Ra and Laporta's numbers are down, but Gibbs, Montgomery, and obviously J-Mo occasionally numbers are up. So we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow with the Hawks and the Lions. But I hate seeing, teams that are good, like Reflect, having 3 of the top 6 receivers, and now one of them might be out for the year, and that stinks. I want everyone to be able to have as much top-tier talent as possible. Kicking is wide left. My God. Tyler Bass looking like Tyler Ass. My God. Come on, Tyler. Yeah, I got to watch a little bit of it. Yeah, a little bit too much power in that kick. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the footage, houses, floating by, people floating by, animals in the water, a little suspect out there. And then obviously the, flash floods and the rapid pace of the water and the waves and whatnot. Very scary stuff. I couldn't imagine living in the South or in the Florida general area out there. Prayers up for all those people that are obviously in need. I mean, if I was rich, I definitely would be able to do more, but there's nothing really necessarily I can do out of my own pocketbook, unfortunately. But I definitely feel for all those people that are out there in the South having to deal with that. Hurricanes are no joke out there. That climate change, the El Nino, all the stuff that they said, that doesn't exist. First down and 10, Lamar, halfback toss. Henry's had a great game today. First handoff taken at 87 to the house. Yeah. Hopefully there'll be some updates, on a few of these players that got banged up just a couple hours ago. Second down and 7. Halfback toss. Henry, God, he's good. Rumbling and a bumbling down the sideline. Wow. Unbelievable. He's so good. But it also shows you if you got holes in your defense, that's what will happen. Man, King Henry trying to go for 200, maybe 300. My God. Yeah, hat in a hat right there. Great blocks. Even that one offensive lineman or receiver right there got 2 people. 54 and another. That was a hell of a block. A 2-for-1. 184. My God, hand it off to him. And then the Bills are like, nah, not today. Lamar, play action fake. Back in the end zone. Oh! There's a flag on the play. We're at 10, baby. 90 to go, baby, to get to a hundo. But Sarah got her first win, so we don't have to, have her go 0-6, 0-7. I hate seeing people struggle. And, she should have won last week, if we're being honest, especially if you score more than any other team besides the team that you're playing. But you would have, beat everyone that week but the person you played. Those are the ones that hurt the most. It's like you finally end up having a good score, and then lo and behold, you play someone that just barely beats you, and they have an amazing score as well. And nice to see Sarah out of the donut hole of fantasy. And again, we're going to have, we'll see what happens here with Elliott and Reflect. But if Reflect goes 4-0, we're going to have a lot of 2-2 teams and just a couple 1-3s. But the 1-3s aren't that far behind. I mean, look at Chief Chief. Chief was in last place. And then, he ended up beating the shit out of me and beat Captain Oreo. And now he's right back on pace with all the other teams. And sometimes you don't even have to have like the most like big name players. Like look at Chief's roster. He's got a lot of guys that most, people may not even roster, and he's getting points out of some of these like suspect names. Like some are a decent big name, but others, some people wouldn't even roster these players, and he's just kind of throwing them out there to see what he can get. And he's definitely hit both weeks on maybe one of the weaker rosters that we've seen in a bit. But it shows you if you pick the right people in the right scheme, it doesn't matter. You're going to win. Spin move, spin move, spin move, spin cycle, whirlpool. Captain Oreo with a 5-er. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. My only concern is the 4, defensive starters that are going to be out. The best 2 defensive linemen with Williams and Byron, and then also the 2 linebackers. So, I know Jared Goff, hasn't been good this year, and I hope the Hawks they've owned them, in the last 4 or 5 years, but can you win without 4 defensive starters? That will be really impressive if it happens. Ball comes loose, and Buffalo's got it! I think. Wow. Reflect with a 5-er. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. We're at 15. Nice little dono train now. And they said, touchdown, Ravens. Yeah, Montgomery, like I said, I feel is like Charbonnet. Like, me and Reflect typically are looking at similar type of players. And I think Charbonnet's kind of like the Montgomery from last year, but Montgomery is the only RB2 that could be a top 10 running back in the NFL. Like he gets enough looks, and he's got a knack for the end zone. And hell, he was a starter for the Bears. Can you imagine if he was still the starter there, how much better Caleb would be? Because he is an RB1 playing RB2, and he's probably the only RB2 that's not an RB1 that should be. But Gibbs is the lightning to his thunder, right? Kick is up, and it's good. 35-10 Ravens. We're at 20, 80 to go. Let me know what you want to do for photos. Anything else that you want to be able to see, Reflect. I'm going to do a throwback photo for you here as well. And then anything that you guys want, I got you as well. But I've never seen quarterback play, so suspect. I've never seen, I just never seen like the NFL kind of play out this particular way in fantasy, but I guess that's where we're at.
Breaking news this morning.
To checking out after checking in. No, catching the action when you're on the go. Or just hanging with family at home.
I got to get you Dion's first punt return for a touchdown. It's a little blurry, but you get the idea with the throwback helmets.
Woes knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. I'm looking for a long one. Could you play with aisle 27? That's how a pro finished. CJ Stroud putting up points with my Woes rewards. He is really leaning up. McCaffrey under pressure. Getting it same day, that's clutch. In store, online, our Woes team has you covered. How many people do you have? It's full. They're from Dallas.
And I got to get you a Julio. When Julio was in his prime, man, he was special. Stud right there. Might have not got in the end zone enough. That might be the only knock compared to like Jerry Rice and, the top end, Terrell Owens and, Randy Moss. And then you're talking about like Megatron. Julio, obviously based off his skill set, definitely deserved to be kind of mentioned up there, with the Larry Fitzgeralds and the top 10 guys, the Chris Carters and a lot of the GOATs and the legends. But, just didn't maybe get in the end zone enough for a lot of fans, but was definitely a monster for sure. Let's go, baby. Yeah, domination, right? Four starters out on D. Now, again, if you can get lucky and get a pick six, which is possible, fumble for touchdown or fumble is possible, interceptions possible, right? Obviously, with the secondary playing well, but it's like, what are you going to give up with Gibbs and Montgomery on the ground? What kind of damage is going to be done, there? And obviously, Geno's going to have to play an effective game. Walker and Charbonnet are going to have to combine for a positive yardage against the number one run defense. So we'll see where it goes, but I hope that it gets very competitive and hopefully Seattle can find a way. But Goff, again, I went back and looked at his numbers, and the reason why Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta and a lot of the JMO, a lot of their stats aren't good this year or not as they were last year is because Goff is not having a good year. Statistically, he's like 20 to 25 as quarterback, not top 10 like last year. So that'll do it. If you're not a good quarterback, then you're not going to be able to get those big fantasy points like we were getting last year with Amon-Ra and Laporta almost every week. So that's a good benefit for Seattle. That Goff is not playing like he was last year. Reflect with a threer. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Yeah, Shep got Walker. I don't know how many points you're going to get with Walker going against Detroit D. I'm hoping about 8. Pass incomplete. It is possible, that Walker could get 10 to 20 points, especially if he gets in the end zone. But with Aiden Hutchinson and that Detroit run defense, based on what they've done to other running backs in the first 3 weeks, anybody can get loose. But it'll have to be a special performance from those running backs to get through. Not impossible, but it's going to be a little difficult, you would assume, based off the analytics. But who knows if those are true, right? What do you honestly think that he's going to get against the number one D? And if you looked up the numbers of what running backs did against the number one run defense, what do you think those numbers are? Pass incomplete. We're at 23, 77 to go. Yeah, I am actually a little surprised that he's playing too, because I definitely don't think the oblique and I don't think the injury's healed up yet. It's like they're just getting to a point where, they're getting antsy and they want to be able to have their best guys out there. But I don't want him to re-aggravate. And let's be honest, Charbonnet has played very good. As far as an RB2 is concerned, it's like the same type of production you're getting out of fucking David Montgomery, where you're going to score once or twice. Montgomery has scored every game he's played in the first 3 weeks. And Charbonnet is a guy that can score once, but also has shown the ability that he can score twice in a game, either running or catching. So I feel that, even if you had to go for the lower name Charbonnet, it's not that much of a downgrade, point-wise and production-wise to Walker. Now, Walker definitely has more skills overall, but if we're going against the number one run D and you're injured, how healthy is Kenneth Walker III really? Is he 70%? 80%? Because if he plays in this game and gets injured, he might be out for another 3 weeks. And I don't know if the Hawks can afford that, even though they do have a good backup in Charbonnet. But it would be better to use them both Rashad White and Bucky Irving, where you got both, not just one. So we'll see where it goes. But that's the simple reason that I'm hanging on to Charbonnet, even though he could be projected for 8 as a backup, but I know he can get 10 or more, 10 or 12 or 14, even if he's getting limited touches because he can get a couple passes, And again, normally, I would let a guy like an RB2 go, but if it's like a Gibbs, Montgomery, or Walker, Charbonnet, you definitely want to keep that guy on the roster because you just don't know when Walker will get hurt again. Charbonnet is always good for 15 to 25 if he's the starter, and then if he is the backup, he could definitely get 8 to 14, and that's pretty good. Some starting running backs can't even get to fucking 10, so we'll see what happens tomorrow, but I'm excited about that. He's like, I had to look it up. He's like, oh, yeah, that motherfucker had 2 from last year. I need another 2. I mean, you never know. Branch, that would be huge too. Like every matchup is going to be exploited. No Byron, right? No Leonard Williams, both the linebackers. Like they're going to be looking like matchup to matchup. Is this the game that Laporta finally scores or gets a look because the linebackers are hurt, and that would be a disadvantage. But when you're only getting 3 to 5 points a week, is Goff going to be actually able to get him the ball? Like, obviously, we already know the pass rush isn't going to be as good with these injuries, but Goff really hasn't looked that great, in the first 3 weeks. Anytime you're in fantasy and if you're projected for like 12 to 14, that's not a good look, whatsoever. Regardless if you're going against a good D or a bad, that's rough. It's like, how did Jared Goff go backwards so much from being a top 10 quarterback, top 12 to being a top 20 to 25 quarterback? Weird. It's not like he lost offensive linemen. It's not like Penny Sewell's not there. It's not like, you're missing out on Laporta, Amon-Ra, or Gibbs. I'm like, you got everybody there. Like, what's the excuse? Is this the defense was that good? First down and 10. Lamar. Derrick Henry going for 300. He's been goffing it up. He has. And I did the Oregon game yesterday, and gosh, man, I'm going to be honest, out of all the years of watching this team from like back in the 80s, I don't feel a connection with this team for like the very first time. Like, I like Dan Lanning, but Gabriel is a good quarterback for college, but just not for us. And, and Stein is a very bland vanilla OC that's boring. It's like screen pass, check down, halfback dive, punt. Halfback dive, screen pass, check down, and then once every like 3 games, or once every like, maybe 3 quarters or whatever, like all of a sudden you'll get like a deep pass for like 30 yards downfield for a touchdown to Tez or someone. But I don't like the way that we're playing. It's not enjoyable. Like I never thought I would get to a point where I don't enjoy watching the Ducks play. Like, things need to change. The personnel is all a bunch of RB2s and RB3s and wide receiver 2s, wide receiver 3s. Gabriel is a Tim Tebow 2.0, and he's not even as good. Like, I don't know. Defense doesn't really do a lot for me. I mean, there's a couple guys there, but I'm used to a little bit more talent. And I know that they lost quite a bit to the NFL, and so did Washington, and we're both suffering because of it. But I don't know. I feel like the play calling is the worst. And at least if the players are going to be RB2, RB3, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, and I got some Tim Tebow clone, that isn't Tim Tebow, at least have the OC be good enough to at least make it interesting instead of being so vanilla and bland. Like, I hope things get better, but we're going to get absolutely destroyed by Ohio State, and there might be another 1 or 2 losses in our future. We are not that good. We played 3 mediocre to bad games and then 1 good game against Oregon State, and that's not going to cut it. But hopefully they'll be enjoyable to me one day. No, bro, I got to beat you, dude. I'm 1-2. Bro, 1-2. You beat me by 0.5. You have that on me for the rest of your life. Not only being the number 1 donator with the single donation high, right? But you beat me by 0.5. You know how crazy that is? You're already a legend and an icon on the NWSF, okay? Based off who you are, your generosity, and your 0.5 ability. And look what it is. Chief Will Chief, my boy in the building. I send him food pics with Shep whenever I have a good meal, right? Ended up having the worst team in fantasy, and then all of a sudden, boom, give Chief a couple weeks, boom, back-to-back wins. You know, your roster is hitting. Even your bench guys that you didn't even play, like Addison, were hitting. I always spy on your shit, you know, to see what's going on, and I always assume that you're doing like 3, 4, 5 leagues. You're a busy guy. Way to turn your season around. You know, again, from something that could have been very, very bad in like last place or 9th place, and to be able to turn your shit around that quick. You know, obviously you did it against me last week, and I shit the bed with 7 spots out of 9 with like 5. So almost anyone would have beat me, but I mean, you beat me. So congrats. And then boom, Captain Oreo this week. Now you're right back in the thick of things. Congrats with that, man, at the expense of me and Captain Oreo, which isn't really what we want, but you know. Yes. We trade players back and forth. Dude, they do. And dude, like, you got probably like, and you know, if we're just being real, right? You probably got like the most points out of like the combination of very like suspect players, you know, but they're making it work. So it's not sexy. It's like almost you got like a bunch of offensive linemen, you know, like Daniels is sexy. HN is sexy, right? But then after that, right, you got Swift, hit or miss. London and Mooney, hit or miss, but lately they've been hitting, right? Goddard stepping up for Brown and Devante Smith being out. Deontay Johnson benefiting from Andy Dalton, right? Houston D, Zerline, but you got A.J. Brown injured, right? You got Puka injured. So you're like me, you're feeling the pain of top 2 picks being injured, right? Addison putting up big numbers, 20 plus. Chase Brown with 20 plus. Love on your bench now with 28. You know, it's like your team, you know, even though you were at one point the worst team in the league because of injuries, but if you were never injured, there you could make a case that your team might be a number 1, you know, number 2, number 3. Daniels or Love, HN hits. You got Puka and AJ healthy on top of guys like Addison stepping up, and then you got Goddard now. I mean, in fantasy is a crazy son of a bitch where it's like everything could look absolutely gone and done, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, by whatever magic of the fantasy gods, you can get the right matchup against the right person that maybe has it a little bit more difficult than you. Your guys hit, theirs don't hit as much. And then boom shakalaka, you're back on it, you know. But I know that you picked Puka and AJ back to back, and that's as significant as CMC and Cup. And we both have lost because of it. You know, it's like when you don't have those players available, and then they can shit the bed once in a while too, but just not having the ability to put them in the lineup to shit the bed, like we want them to score, and normally guys like that are going to score, right? You would assume that, you know, Puka and AJ can get you 30 combined pretty easily, and then some weeks maybe 40 or 50 or 60 combined, right? That's exciting. Not having the ability to put up 30, 40, 50, 60 every given week, that stinks. But congrats on turning your shit around, man. Dude, London and Mooney have literally been your saving grace. And then having Goddard since AJ and Devante Smith got hurt like that, he had his breakout game against me. You did it last week, and then now you're benefiting from other people's injuries, whether they're on your own fantasy team or not, and then you're benefiting from it, you know, and you're turning your shit around. Good job. Buffalo with the tackle. 8 minutes left in the fourth here. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, you know, you can have like an ugly team on paper where you look at other people's teams and they have more like superstar guys that have bigger potential. But at the end of the day, it's not about name recognition. You can have guys like Tyreek, right? But a guy like Mooney could get more points. Like Mooney could hit a 20, Tyreek could hit a 7. And, you know, most people are just going to put Tyreek in even if they had both players. But again, if you have injuries, sometimes you're forced to go deeper on the wire. And sometimes you get blessed by guys that no one would normally roster or start. They would just have them on the bench, you know, or maybe they would start one. But, you know, I don't know how many people would really be starting Mooney and Drake London. You know, maybe they would start one but not the other, you know, if they had to go that route. But sometimes by having bad luck, good luck ends up coming to you. And then you end up getting huge numbers from guys that normally don't put up huge numbers. getting like 20 and 18 out of like a London and Mooney. That could be as high as like a Jay Jetta and an AJ Brown. Like, yeah, one side looks a lot sexier than the other, but at the end of the day, it's how many targets and what did they get? And that's what makes fantasy kind of crazy. Because if you look at a matchup, you kind of have an idea who's going to win. But until we actually get into the games, all it is popularity and recognition based off name. Like, oh, this guy's good, right? Oh, this guy's kind of a jobber, but every once in a while he'll hit. And then you just got to pray that the jobber or the role player hits. So, for real, you were desperate as shit, and then it worked out. Yeah. But remember, I told you, when you double up, you run a risk. Because not only do you have Brees and Garrett Wilson, but you also have Mahomes and Kelsey. So when you have 2 and 2, you have to make sure you have a good team, and then you have to monitor their stats, because again, if you end up going 2 and 2 and they end up, playing bad, then, half of your lineup, you're 4 out of, and you expect big numbers out of those 4. So if you're not getting the 15 or 20 apiece or more, and then you got 4 guys with a combined score of 20, then you already know you're fucked, because then those are your best players, and then the other 5 are not going to make up for it. You're not going to be able to get 80 points out of your kicker and D, right? So, and that's not going to happen to you that often, where you're going to have shit numbers from Mahomes, Kelsey, Wilson, and Brees, but that's what makes it very scary in fantasy. You have to be very matchup aware, and sometimes a matchup that looks good ends up ending up to be a nightmare, for probably both teams. I don't think anyone anticipated 10-9, but then the weather was bad. It was just one of those weird-ass games, right? Yeah. Yeah, he was decent with Chicago. Chief with a tenner. Appreciate you, my guy. Chief, $10 holla. $10 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. But if I end up, me being super competitive, if I end up not making the playoffs, like, I'm going to be super proud, because obviously injuries stink, and I made a lot of mistakes already, but I've also tried to make some good moves to stay competitive. But if this is the first season where I don't make it, for the people that end up ahead of me and end up, making it, that's a cool thing to be able to see, like, your channel grow to the point where you get people that kind of have similar ideas on what they look at for, good players. And sometimes it's just bad luck with injuries and whatnot, but also, you have to be able to play the right players and be consistent. And the 4 that are the best at being consistent are going to make it. And I hope I'm number 4. But right now I'm at the bottom of the board, but we'll see where we're at here in a few more weeks. We're at 33 doll hairs, 67 to go. And it's kind of crazy when you can see like backups that are more talented than some of the starters. Like, you're seeing like Andy Dalton in the right situation thrive, right? Sam Darnold looking like a top 5 quarterback. Will it last? They're 4-0. And they don't even have Hawkinson yet. Hawkinson, Addison, Jetta, Aaron Jones, offensive line playing good, defense playing better, out of their minds. So like the team that we thought that was going to finish last in the NFC North is one of the more dangerous teams for now, But again, this is the best weapons that Darnold has had, and he's thriving in that environment. So, Dalton and Sam Darnold and Joe Flacco coming in for AR, looking better than AR, which shouldn't really be a surprise because he was better than Deshaun Watson last year. 3rd and 12. Almost picked. That's not Shakir. Come on, Josh Allen. Yeah, well, again, you gave that last game, not the Saints game, but the prior game, you gave that one away. But I think hopefully they learned something from it. But for the first time in a while, the Falcons are relevant. You know what I mean? Like, the Saints are injured, right? You're taking advantage. Now you're there playing the Bucs on Thursday. You beat us. If that happens, then obviously people will start giving more recognition that, this is a team to be watched and, maybe not a team to be feared just yet, until you have more consistency and whatnot. But, obviously trending in the right direction. And again, Judon, Justin Simmons, Jesse Bates III, those are 3 of the best players in the NFL at what they do. And they haven't really been a good, defensive team in a long time. Offensive line typically is good, got good skill position players, just never needed anything more than a fucking really good quarterback. Now you got 2 good options. Now the defense is catching up. Yeah, very. Yeah, backups. Yep. Sucks about Rashee Rice, my guy, but Xavier Worthy will step up. You're going to get Hollywood Brown down the road, and you might get Devante Adams because Devante Adams is owed like 35 million, and they may, depending on what their win and loss record is before the deadline, he may get moved. And if he gets moved, who do you think the number 1 team is going to be to grab him to try to make sure that you can win another Lombardi? The Kansas City Chiefs. Like, again, they need Pacheco. That's not going to be something that you're going to be able to replace. They're hoping Kareem Hunt will play like he did 6 years ago and give him a flash until Pacheco can come back. But Xavier Worthy can step up. Kelsey can have a bigger role. Fantasy owners rejoice if you got Kelsey. Hopefully Rice, it's not a torn ACL, but we'll find out. I feel bad for Reflex team because I hate when I see shit like that. And Rice is one of the top 5 wide receivers. I think he was ranked 2nd up to the injury. So it's not like he isn't doing anything. He really has taken Travis Kelce's shine. Kelsey has a chance to take it back now, but Devante Adams to the Chiefs would be a big move. It still might not be enough for them to win the Super Bowl or get there, but it definitely would help a need, in that offense. And I don't know how many people would want to pay 35 million, even if it is for a Devante Adams. I mean, that's a lot of money. If he can stay healthy, could be worth it. But if he gets hurt, could be a big risk. But again, healthy could be the cherry on top to get you a 3-peat. 3rd down and 7, 35-10, Ravens. Yep. But eventually, when that defense gets better and better, you're going to start blowing teams out. Maybe you'll start on Thursday by doing it to me. I mean, I already had the Broncos have it happen, so, it is what it is. DeMar Hamlin and company there defensively. Elliott's like, I need more points. What's the point total looking like for the 2 of you now? Is it looking like Reflect is going to win? Because, there's a good chance. Even though with that defense being stout, there's still a chance for 10 to 18 points for Montgomery. Maybe even more. It just, especially with 2 defensive linemen out, the best, and 2 linebackers. So, I don't know how many carries Gibbs and Montgomery are going to get or how many looks out of the backfield, but there could be some, it could end up being low. It could be like 8 and 8, for those players. It could be 8, but you would think it wouldn't be really for them. It would be more for like Walker and Charbonnet, maybe 8 and 8, something like that. But on the opposite side, it could be 15, it could be 20, it could be 30. It could be something crazy tomorrow. It all depends on who they want to get involved. Do they feel bad enough about Laporta's stat line to get him the ball extra heavy against the linebackers that are going to be gone? Are they going to just go to Gibbs because they know that's who they should go to and then change of pace, go to Montgomery? Are the deep balls going to be going to only J-Mo? Is Amon-Ra even going to get targeted enough to make a difference in fantasy? We'll see on how it all kind of plays out tomorrow. That one hit a Raven very clearly there. You need 10 points. You better hope that he doesn't take that hit and then goes down with a re-aggravation of the injury. You don't want to fuck around with like obliques and shit like that. 3rd down. No. 3:18 left. I need Shakir, baby. Give me some Shakir garbage points, baby. I need a Shakir garbage time touchdown from the fantasy gods. Do you hear me? Shakir. Chief with a tour. But Devante would be wild, and you actually would have the resources and the money to do it. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. And it would give Devante the chance to actually win a ring, which he probably will never be able to do unless he goes to a team like the Chiefs. But, we have to wait to see if the Raiders are winning or losing and if they want to make that move, because that's a pretty significant move. I got to try to, I already have nightmares about the 0.5, losing in fantasy by 0.5 at any given time, let alone in the championship or the playoffs. Really? You had to save that for the playoffs? Right? I need some garbage time. I don't even know if he's in the game right now. We're at 65 to go. This was a straight beatdown. This looks like the Buffalo Bill defense that I thought I was going to see at the beginning of the year after losing like 4 or 5 starters with like Jordan Poyer. Like, ooh, like Allen, you might be able to sling it. And he's looked like the best quarterback up to this game. Obviously him and Sam Darnold, right? But when you play a tough defense and you're on the road, things happen, and sometimes you can look like shit. But this guy right here, Jaden Daniels, this is the best quarterback they've had since Alex Smith, Mark Rippon, Joe Theismann. Like, Jaden Daniels is the truth. Like, I've seen enough of his games from beginning to end. He is a franchise quarterback, and he's probably going to get Offensive Rookie of the Year. Like, he'll be right there, in the running for that award. He's very good. He's by far the best. And then if Michael Penix Jr. gets a chance, I think he could be second. But Jaden Daniels, he's going to be more of a runner and kind of a gimmick quarterback. But once he settles in and trusts his teammates and starts to sling it, he could be a top 10 quarterback in this league. I wouldn't say that if I didn't believe in him. And he's on the fucking Commandos, like probably the most dysfunctional organization in sports, except for maybe the Mariners. Like, they got so much talent, but they never can put it together. It's always just like this fucking nightmare with either Daniel Snyder, who no longer owns a team, or players. It's like you never can put it together, but there's always talent there. But now they finally got, for the first time, a franchise QB. Like, good for them. I'm a little jealous that Chiefs got him in fantasy. He's got him and Jordan Love, so you can kind of flip-flop between top 10 quarterbacks potentially. Pretty good. Jordan Love, right? Slinging it in the pocket. Jaden Daniels, taking advantage of the teams that can't guard him. Maybe running a touchdown in and throwing a couple. That's kind of sexy. Did they take Shakir out of the game? Are you just saying that because you want it to happen, or they actually did? I don't know if I believe you. Obviously Allen isn't out there, and now I'm not going to be able to get any more. Now the clock is running down. Now they need to do like a fake spike and then just go deep to Shakir for an insane touchdown. Give me a Shakir touchdown. In the game, get the ball, 60-yard tutty, boom shakalaka, 35-17. And then they hand the ball off. That's not the play call. They didn't get the message. So what are we looking at right now? So you need like 10 points to win. Final score, Baltimore Ravens 35, Buffalo 10. Can I get anybody any photos for the people that donated? So we're at, I'm still projected to lose to you by 4. So I'm up by like 8-9 points. So it's literally, I got to hope that Walker, gets like 8, and then I beat you by like 0.5 or something crazy like that. Or he ends up getting like a 4 and re-aggravates the injury and leaves the game early in the first quarter, and then I beat you by like 4 points, and then we go from there. Or he just goes off and I get absolutely fucking obliterated and I go down to 1-3. That's probably the most likely scenario, but hopefully I can find a way to keep it close. Yeah, Elliott needs Montgomery. Yeah, good combo too. Number 1 running back, potentially number 1 receiver, and Sam Darnold's playing well. Like, this is like having Kirk Cousins all over again for Jefferson, It's like, shit, if I would have known, and, that's a great 1-2 combo. You could argue that's the best 1-2 combo as far as consistency is concerned, as long as Darnold doesn't get injured. You're going to get great opportunities with Barkley. Even his bad games are, better than most people's good games, right? And then when he has a great game, obviously it could be, a week winning based on what he just does alone, or maybe 1 or 2 players. So, but Jetta and Barkley, nice. Seahawks W, but Montgomery for, yeah, that could happen. who knows? I mean, it's going to be really exciting, but I'm going to end up doing the Hawks Lions tomorrow. We'll do that. Then playoff baseball Tuesday and Wednesday. Falcons and Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football for me and Shep. Yes, please. And then Friday, Ducks, Michigan State. And then on Saturday, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe day off unless I do another college football game or a baseball playoff game. More than likely, baseball playoff Saturday since the Ducks play on Friday. And then, I don't know. I haven't looked at week 5 unless I click on it now and we can look to see what we got. I know I did it at the beginning, but so we got Falcons and Bucs on Thursday. And like we mentioned earlier, we got Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Steelers, 2-2 versus 3-1 in Pittsburgh, though. So Pittsburgh will have a chance to win that game. Interesting. And then we got Nolans, the Saints, 2-2 versus the Chiefs, 4-0. And that'll be at Arrowhead. And that will be Monday night. So should be pretty interesting in those matchups. And Justin Fields, we'll see how he does. If we ever see Russ at all, and see if the Cowboys can play some D. Yeah, he's definitely looking the best, And again, I would say, Michael Penix Jr., if he started, he's going to have the ups and the downs, but I'm just waiting for him to be able to get a shot. And eventually, he's going to be the guy. But as long as Cousins is healthy and he's helping them win, then they're going to not make that change. So. Chief is behind. He's lagging. Photos? Anything that you guys want to be able to see? And then I got to take Paisley for a walk. Eat dinner. And then obviously prepare for tomorrow. We'll get a couple more reaction videos done. Did Buccaneers, Eagles, as well as Vikings, Packers. I'll do 2 or 3 of those in the afternoon, and then we'll be here for the Seahawks and Lions, which will be awesome. Yes. Ooh, food picks. That's a good thing. Man, we haven't had anyone do that in a while. Good choice. Michael Penix Jr. And then food. What a game. 87 yards to the house. Longest tutty off a first possession, I believe, all season. 199 yards. How did they not get him over 200? It's like doing him a disservice. Oh, look at that stud. He's kind of good. Man, crazy. Padre, I'll try to do some Padre games. I'm going to do Dodgers. I might end up doing Yankees for Soto and Judge and whatnot, but I'll definitely try to squeeze in some Padre games if they're on at a good time. Derrick Henry, he's like, I'm old as shit, but I can still rumble and a bumble down your ass. Thanksgiving food in my belly. You already know what it is. Whenever it's Easter, right, or it's Thanksgiving, it's game over. Family, food, football.
Each other well going back to the draft. That was a good old-fashioned beatdown, but it was really from the very first moment. Derrick Henry was
My favorite holiday. I know some people, Britt loves Halloween, and everyone's got, it's either Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Christmas. And obviously, as you get older, giving gifts is a lot more enjoyable than getting them, depending on where you're at in your life. Obviously, getting stuff is always cool too, but I think as you get older and mature, you start to realize like the difference you can make, and if you can give something good that's worthwhile, it really can go a long ways. And you know what else goes a long ways? It's food photos on the NWSF. You never know what you're going to see. But now the temptation is getting better as the HD 4K greatness comes onto your screen, as you end up staring at the screen and starting to salivate thinking of the Thanksgiving meal, and then the second go around, and then unbuckling the belt if there is one, and creating room to be able to get pie, and then maybe thirds, leftovers, right? The leftovers in the morning. The leftovers in the morning hit just as good as pizza or pad thai. Like, if you're talking about like what's going to be the best, like leftover after you had your meal, heat it up, eat it hot or cold, still good, still going to be on point, right? Those three. And if you disagree, you haven't had enough. Dude. Bro, this place, Bays, right in downtown. My best friend Justin went to the Moda and it was there, but they had like a limited sample of the menu, just like little chicken tendies and like maybe some fries and whatnot. But literally on that photo, that might have been one of the best meals of my life, right? Crispy waffle fries, fresh, like immediately, like literally we're talking like 20 seconds out and then served. Like I've never had a fry that good in my life. And then different sauces. There was like a ranch, kind of like with a twist, with a little, it kind of tasted like ranch and blue cheese together, but it wasn't. And then they had the fry sauce, and then the chicken, ridiculous. A waffle fry portion, ridiculous. And then homemade mac and cheese, ridiculous. With the little pickles on the side. Man, so good. Fucking sandwich. And they also have it like Sisters and Brothers, like that famous place that I go to in Seattle, where I thought they had the best Nashville hot chicken in the Northwest. I still think that's true. But this place, Bays, downtown, man, once you end up having, something fried or something barbecue or whatever, or something delicious like this, and it definitely, because we only eat this once or twice a year, right? Easter, Thanksgiving, and then I guess if you get a craving and decide to like make this meal because you're craving it a month or two before or after, you could. But I think most of us, it's just like, okay, you eat, then you have leftovers for a couple days, and then you're hoping that you can eat that again. Yes. Right. And even things that people think that, they may not like this or like that. It's just to be able to have the options. Like if you like your cranberry sauce or your cranberry cubes, cool, eat it. Right. Not everyone has to like it. Everyone's going to have, some people like cherry and apple pie like me. But if pumpkin is there, I'm not going to say no. It might not be my number one. You need an apple and cherry first. But if the pumpkin is there, I'll celebrate Thanksgiving and I'll eat a little pumpkin pie, Doesn't have to be your favorite thing, It's like deviled eggs and other stuff that's kind of those side pieces. For me, I like Flavor Town. So for me, like, give me everything. Give me the casserole. Give me the stuffing. If there's 3 types of stuffing, you bet your ass I'm eating one of each to see like which one's my favorite. And it's like, I'm not leaving one behind. I'm trying them all. I got to decide which one, if I go for seconds, which is the best one to go back to, right? Strategy. Just like in fantasy football, and you guys are kicking ass and taking names. I'm proud of you, man. This is definitely the best that I've seen top to bottom in the league. Probably because we have all regulars, and I kind of made it a point for it to be that way. And lo and behold, we end up having the most competitive league we've ever had. We got some more quality pieces, participating and doing a great job. In this next photo, the journey that I'm going to take you on, I'm going to be like David Attenborough. right? Where you're watching like the animals and there's like a narrator. His stuff is always fire. Got a great voice. Just like Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt. I'll watch football at 9 a.m. just for them because they're the best. And then you look at the turkey and the ham. Do you like one or do you like the other? For me personally, give me both. You know, if I want to get a big 1 or 2 slices of ham and it's fresh and it's hot, boom. And then, you know, give me the turkey. Give me the mashed potatoes and gravy. Give me the rolls. Give me a little bit of everything and make sure I get the stuffing too. You know, but I like having an option at Easter and Thanksgiving if both are served. Sometimes Easter is only ham, but if you got cool parents or cool family and they do ham and turkey on both, then you're living both of, you know, best of both worlds, because then you're not missing out on the other one that you normally wouldn't get, like turkey, you know. And I've had it where it was both at both, but I've also had it just one, you know, where like Easter normally is ham, but maybe we did turkey, or maybe, you know, we normally, you know, okay, turkey this time, maybe ham, but ham is usually the primary, I think, for most, you know, people that celebrate it in the United States and whatnot. But man, give me both, right? We're going down Flavor Town. I watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay, you know, I'm up on that, you know, MasterChef Generations with Gen X, Gen Z, the baby boomers, going for people that are 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. If you haven't watched the Gordon Ramsay show, watch it. It's incredible. You know, they got MasterChef, MasterChef Junior, MasterChef Generations. It'll get you motivated to get yourself healthy and, you know, eat better. And again, it's a good skill to have in life. You know, that's one thing. If I could do 2 things in life, no, 3. If I could do 3 things in life, right, that I can't necessarily do at this very moment, right? Be someone like Gordon Ramsay. I think that would be like literally, or like the bear. Like, I think that having that skill is like one of the best skills you can have in life, because you can connect you to anyone in life, because everyone has to fucking eat and everyone loves food, right? So, and to be great at your job, you know, and to be like a trendsetter where people respect you and you have fucking shows and buildings named after you. Like, do you know how good you have to be to have that kind of like rep? Like, how awesome is that? And he's a great host. He's got a great personality. Cool dude. And he always got cool friends too. All the extra guest judges on it are awesome. But it's about Flavor Town. But I would recommend hopping on and watching some if you haven't watched it in a while. It's worth it, man. Amazing talents, especially the younger generation. I just like it. It's like, you know, you get family, you get friends, you get football, you get the food, you get the 4 Fs, and then you got like the extended family, you know, you got NWSF. It's like, you don't have to necessarily be blood, and not everyone is going to be close on the channel. You know, some people will talk on other social media apps or have, you know, access to text message. Some do not, you know, only on here and whatnot. And, you know, not every bond is going to be the same as another, but I feel like it's very cool to be able to have a very unique group like we have. And again, you know, having the similar interests for sports wrestling, or just, you know, trying to be a good person overall, you know, and setting that standard, and having some smart people that know what they like this. I like the sauce, you know, or I can eat like, you know, how they have like the, you know, cut out pieces that come out of the can that are like circles. Some people don't like that. I mean, I'll eat whatever, man. Give me Flavor Town. And this is something that was introduced like later in my life. But again, it's not going to be the first thing that I grab. But I mean, if there's 1 or 2, yeah, if the person that made them well, they are delicious. So, I mean, you guys can't hate on something like that. Boom. I'm on that. And then also for me to have to work on Thanksgiving, like I kind of enjoy, I grind as hard as I do, not just because I have to be able to survive and make money. Obviously, that's part of living the dream, being able to make enough to be able to keep doing your dream, right? But being able to connect and help, that's important, and it's cool to be able to have those bonds where we can, look at food and go to Flavortown. It's about time like we got to this point, but it is, we're getting closer, right? So at some point, one of the goats would have been like, maybe we should go to Flavortown. We're here.
It had me wondering about what happened with Kansas City as well. So Kansas City, they lost Isaiah Pacheco. If you're thinking about their offense, outside of Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco,
The cranberry sauce.
guys that can't lose. But now without both of them, AFC looked a little different to you with that.
Elliot's like, I'll eat pepperoni pizza for Easter and Thanksgiving. Pepperoni pizza. Do you miss your pepperoni pizza days? I imagine you do. But I mean, even though that you have to grow, right? You can branch out to food like this. It's at my house. Yeah, and you're always welcome here, Matt. Like I said, if you're stressed out with, things with the channel and with your job and whatever, like I said, we're all, I just need to be able to find people that are going to be able to help, based on my crazy work ethic. Not everyone is going to be able to, do what I need to be done, as I do this for my life. So, as long as we have other people that can step up, and help here and there, and then we'll be fine, and then again, the job will get easier and better, and you'll start getting paychecks. Things will get good, pepperoni princess or not. And again, we got to watch duck games, right? There's going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it's not like you're not welcome, bro. Anytime if I end up having mods, or if they end up being mods or not being mods anymore, or if you're lead or not lead, you just have to understand, I've been doing this for so long, that I got to be able to have like reliable individuals as much as I can, for what I'm doing. Like, of course, I can do it by myself, but I would assume that most people would not like to have me say, hey, like, sub, donate, comment, share. I would hate to have to do that like 5 to 15 times a stream. That would be really annoying, and I don't want to come across as begging. The donations are supporting the dream, and I do appreciate that for all the people that donated today. Chef's like, I'm coming to your house. Captain Oreo's like, I'm going over there. Yeah, I talked to her earlier, based off the Eagle matchup and whatnot. And obviously it's cool to be able to have her in the league too. So that way we have a little bit of diversity where it's not just 10 dudes. We're getting some of the females in here. And again, anybody can beat anyone on any given weekend. So Megan in the building. What's good? Oh, seafood, nice. With a fish fry. Well, I need to be able to eat, and Paisley needs dad. So I want to keep doing some more Flavortown and other photos and whatnot, but I think that it's probably time that I not neglect the daughter, be a good dog father, and got to go on a nice walk, 30 to 40, 45, eat a little bit of dinner, definitely do some prep for Hawks Lions. Go Hawks, and it'll be an amazing win if we can get it there on the road. They're going to be wearing their new jersey and helmet, the black with the dark blue, so a little extra swagger and energy from the building. But we will see what happens tomorrow. Anything can happen. But I love and appreciate every single one of y'all. Matt, Elliot, Megan, Chief, Reflect, Shep, everybody. I appreciate all y'all. Sarah as well. If I missed anybody, didn't mean to miss you. And again, we'll be back at it tomorrow. And hopefully the game will be a little bit closer than 35-10. Shout out to all the people that donated, commented, shared. You guys are the best. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. We'll do more photos tomorrow. And I'm out. Gang.